It's clobberin' time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
Yeah. Greetings. Clobberers, clobberonimals, clobberettes, clobberoids, clobberoosties, clobberians, clobbologists, and for everyone else out there, the secret, of course, is to bang the rocks together, guys. Welcome to Clobberonimal! What she said. And sorry about the lateness and everything. We'll get on that in a second, folks.
You were at a convention.
Well, sort of. I guess I was sort of in a way. But number one is back, folks. Aren't you all happy?
I missed everyone so much.
Welcome to Clobberin Times issue number 415 on YouTube, 1,415 overall. And it's Saturday night, Star Trek number 152, the return of number one. Back to our reviews. And I'm going to turn over the floor to her because I got to take care of some stuff that I forgot to take care of. It's that kind of a crazy night. And so I'm going to turn over the floor to her to say her piece because you're also glad to have her back as I am.
I love you,
don't
boss.
need to hear from me.
Thank you, Captain. You get your stuff done, and I'll take care of business on this end for a few seconds.
Now, just now remembered it. I'm so pissed off at myself. Good.
It's okay, sweetheart. Don't worry. You are worth waiting for. No one here is in a hurry. The 735ers, all of the clobberoids and the clobberooskies and the clobologists, they're all waiting for us to have a jam session over these reviews. So you go do what you need to do.
Oh,
and we're happy to
I'm
wait.
sitting here, but I'm just writing down some things, doing some
Okay.
take care of business. But good.
Nice. Okay. So where do I start? I hope everyone had a beautiful New Year. You should all know that today is Little Christmas or Ladies' Christmas in Ireland, a tradition where the women have worked for so many weeks on all of the cooking and the cleaning and just getting the home ready for Christmas. That men in Ireland give them this day to celebrate them and their sisterhood and all of the work that they put into Christmas. And so It's celebrated tonight, this afternoon. Women go to plays together. They go out for lunch together. The most important thing is they don't do any work or any chores today. They just relax and take a breather. So I had a lovely, lovely ladies' Christmas with my offspring today. We went swimming and then we did a little bit of lingerie shopping. We had so much fun together. A very happy ladies' Christmas, a very merry little Christmas to all the women out there who worked so hard on the holidays to make everything special for their families. What other business do I have to
Why didn't you
discuss?
tell me? I would have given you, could have had the 9 off again and said,
Oh, no, it's okay, sweetheart. All right, so I have some other business to discuss. Folks, are you a Nichelle Nichols fan? If you are, I very much encourage you to please connect with Celestis 20. Of course, they're sending Nichelle into space on Enterprise. And that's going to be happening within the next 24 hours. So the flight was confirmed 2 days ago, and they said the countdown was going to begin in 2 days and 4 hours. And so that was 20 hours ago. So in about 24 hours, I'd say 28 hours max, Enterprise will take our beautiful queen into outer space. And I just love her so much. So if you'd like to tune into that, please do, or just leave a lovely note for her. The folks who are connected with her, who love her very much, the good ones. They're on Instagram. So if you want to connect there and just say a few words about, how much you love her and how happy you are for her, she is going to have her burial in space. I'm not sure about the details, if it will be all of her ashes, or just part. As we know, the weight is a premium, and of course, the great bird of the galaxy had part of himself and then more of himself on 2 separate occasions go into space. So just keep an eye out for that. If you're a huge Nichelle Nichols fan like I am, she's one of the reasons why I got into communications and technology. I love her to bits. And she had a massive impact on my childhood. So Nichelle Nichols going into space. What else do we need to talk about? We need to talk about the fact that Cassandra Beacom is not feeling well.
Yes.
And it appears as though Michael has wrenched his knee. So let's send some love out to the Beacoms. Cassandra is tucked into her chair with her electric blanket. And I'm just sending all of the Clobbering Times love to her, and get well soon, and get off that knee, Michael, and go and rest yourself, you sweet people.
By the way, I want to say to Michael, by the way, I got your email last week. I forgot to write back to it. I saw it. I'm sorry about that, but I'm so sorry. You know how absent-minded and terrible I am with emails. So I'm so sorry to hear about that, about Cassandra and yourself. Please, I hope she's doing better. And please get well soon, Cassandra and Michael, our dear friends. I apologize. I saw the email. It was late at night. I meant to write back. But again, I'm terrible with that kind of stuff, and I do apologize.
Yep. I also want to shout out to Scotty, who does The Dump. He Sporking News podcast. Scotty is a good friend of ours, and he called for a raid. And so tonight, Keely Chow is reminding everyone, hey, Keely, how you doing, sweetheart?
Keely!
Reminding that Scotty called for a raid. So I just want to shout him out. Okay, folks, do you like science fiction? I have science fiction, classic episodic science fiction stories on sale at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and they're only 99 cents each. I just want to very quickly shout out to all my Patreon subscribers. These folks are helping me to publish a new book in the next month or two. That book should be ready. That's right, folks. I wrote a book in a year. I set out the goal. The book is finished. I just have to write the bonus story, get it published, and get it into everyone's hot little hands. So I have these folks to thank. These are the folks who pay for me to be able to go to conventions, to book signings, to help me to afford different aspects of the publishing mechanism. And I just love them. So Thank you, Larry, Tony Stark, Penny Lane, Sean Carter, Shooter, Gwagnar, Dave, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric Kane, his trusty dusty dog, Kirby, Enigmatic Dropper, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, I love you guys. Mark D with a C, Anti-Derivative Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Cog, Dabman and the Dabman Clan, Lord and Lady Thoth. Of course, Lord Thoth was in the chat earlier. He said he couldn't stay, but he's sending his love and is waving hello to one and all. And of course, little Lance, our very own Porthos. I also want to shout out Rob Altus and Tyler for supporting my work. I love you guys. Thank you. I'm so excited about the new book. I can't wait for it to be released to the public. Thank you for reading all of the rough drafts and for giving me all your feedback and sending me all your love and being so generous. I also want to shout out everyone who is watching us on Twitter. It's a new thing. We get to see that you are watching us on X. So thank you so much for joining us. Makes it so much easier for you to tune in and to also share this stream. So please go ahead and share this stream. You know who owns this stream? One of my best friends in the entire world. He's a subject matter expert. He's a comic book just genius. I just love him to bits. Clobby, Mike Clobby Alonso. So shout out to all those lurkers and to all of those people on X. Please share this stream. And if you have a great time tonight, please go ahead and clobber that like button and go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And of course, hit that notification bell so you know when Clobby is on air. And you know what? I think that's about all I have to say for now. I'm going to throw it over to the captain. Good evening, Captain. I love you with all my heart. We're going to have so much fun tonight. Let's do it. Let's get it on.
Yes, and yes. Thank you so much for that. I love you. Love you. I'm so happy that you're back and so excited that you're back. It's great. Everyone else is as well. We missed you. It's never the same without you. You know that. You know, we managed to have a little bit of fun, but it just was never the same. And we're always talking about you when you're gone and saying, yeah, what would Raquel think about that or this or what have you, because you're never far from our thoughts. You're always with us, even when you can't be here. So we love you. But now it's just back to business, back to getting at the old grind, isn't it? In a good way.
In a good way. And I just want you all to know that the feeling is very much mutual. I've never had a circumstance before where I belonged to a club or a group of friends where I was sitting down to Christmas dinner and everyone at the Christmas dinner table was talking about all of these marvelous friends I have and hearing all the stories about, Gwagnar and Clobby and Zathras and Jamalama and Dave, and just all of the wonderful conversations we have. It was a very unique experience, and I'm just so filled with joy and so honored to be a part of this virtual comic book shop and this mini Star Trek convention that you have created. Truly an amazing honor to call you all my friends. Thank you so much for this, Clobby. We all love you very much. Let's have a good year.
Indeed. I'm sorry again. Sorry for the late start, everybody, but let's go ahead and we're going to get moving now. Well, let's see up in here. First thing, just a quick show notes and shouty outies. Shout outs are not much. Let's see, tomorrow night, the Great Marquis with the C, unless he's got something else going on that may take precedence. I don't know for sure. We're going to go ahead and just announce it like he's doing. And if he has to change that later, we will. But the Geekery should be going still on for tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, like I said, we don't know. He may have something else coming up, but if not, I'm sure he'll be doing it. And then, of course, Monday night, I'll be on with J-Man at 6. J-Man will be on with me, actually, at 6 for our Earth B segment. And I'll have that. We'll know more about that tomorrow. But I'm so busy, it's been tough to get that ready for him, but we will. Something's wrong here. Oh, there we go. No. Oh, okay. All right, just making sure. Anyway, and then of course I'll have Monday night and the usual slate of shows next week. We'll get all that announced later. So let's see. Shout outs. That's the important thing. Our wrenches, of course, the great Eric K., the bronze wrencher.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Chris Persia, Vindicated Wrench of the Great White North. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he's, of course, helped us, as always, making the ads for us and everything. Is he in the chat? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I don't know,
Shout
but
him out
those
anyway.
aren't those show posters that
Oh,
he
they're the
just
best.
splashes all over social media. They're so beautiful and
The
they're so
best.
thoughtful, and I just
The
love
best.
them. Thank you, Chris.
Indeed. D-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iran.
Yay!
Lord Thoth, long live the Legion, sir. Yes. J-Man, aforementioned J-Man, partner in crime on Earth B, and Legionnaire extraordinaire.
Yep.
Maddie's daddy. Hey, Maddie's daddy. I was at a con in New Orleans today and saw your old buddy George and his family, and they say hi. If you're hearing me, buddy, still, you'll know who I'm talking about. Let's see. Kal-El, the Super Wrench.
Real soup.
Anti-Outstidey, the Rascally Wrench. Hungry Boy, Master of the Cluboni. And our own Music Meister, Maximum Redstone.
Maximum Redstone.
Now let's take a look and see who is here with us up in the chat, shall we?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oops, hang on something. Sorry, I got it wrong now. Okay. All right. So here with us tonight, we have our wonderful Chief of Communications, Anti-Derivative Jill. Hey, Jilly.
Jelly Jill.
Good to see you. FKHC 2005. Hi, what's up, my friend? Fairfax. Dave C. All right, buddy. Let's see up in Larry.
A man so nice you should say his name twice, perhaps thrice. Larry. I love you, Larry.
Indeed. Raymond and Sandra Feliciano. King.
You know they were making out in the chat earlier?
No, I didn't know.
They were KISSINGing right in the chat.
I don't believe you. Just don't. Sorry. I don't think they're that unprofessional. Love you, Raymond and Sandra. Good to see you. And there, of course, King Dolphin TV.
That's right. King Dolphin TV.
Color. And they call him Scuba Pete. He's the king of Ramba Beach. When he plays the maracas, he goes chick chicky boom, chick chicky boom. And he does do it. I mean, that song just doesn't just happen for no reason. He does.
It's true. It happens spontaneously. Scuba Pete, I love you. Please send my love to Leslie and the whole family.
Yes.
And folks, make sure you follow Scuba Pete. He is a super geek.
Yes, sir. Good to see you, Scoob. Shooter, what's up, Shooter? Pew, pew, pew. Good to see you. Enigmatic drop bear, my friend. Okay.
Yay, the erudite bear.
The aforementioned great Michael B. Come shout out to you, buddy, and your wonderful better half, Cassandra. I hope you're feeling well, dear. Feeling better than it is.
Sucker says, Clobby Raquel, when you have a hot other half, you make out whenever you can.
Am I to take it, madam, that you're referring to the dignified gentleman Raymond Feliciano as such primitive terms as hot?
It's true. It's true.
We have none of such foolishness around here in this dignified chat, my good woman. All right. So you're on your own, Raymond. Penny. Hello, Penny.
Good evening, Penny. So nice to see you.
Good to see you, love. RRTNZ.
RRTNZ.
Eli McInnes. Hello there. Welcome to Clobbering Time.
Good evening, Eli.
Zappras.
Crap.
Chili Chow. Roll that tide, buddy. Jamalama.
Jamalama Ding Dong.
Muhammad said, hello, my friend. Welcome.
Evening.
Anonymous Gamer.
Hey, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Malachi D. Wildman.
Malachi, good to see you. Hope you had a good Christmas.
Yes, and I don't have any more here, but the more you'll all be written down accordingly and shouted out when people come in. But right now, let's get down to beeswax. First, I would like to thank all the lurkers out there. we do appreciate those who lurk very much. I don't say it enough, and I'm sorry. Just, old man's memory. But I do want to say thank you, and I want to say thank you to those who are watching this on a download or a rewatch later, whatever you may call it. Please, of course, if you are able to, but only if you're inclined to, like and subscribe to the like the videos and subscribe to the channel.
Become a member.
And you can become a member if you feel like it. Yes. And we appreciate that. So, okay, for those who do not know, and here we go. 3 years ago this week, we embarked upon a perilous mission, one that is yet to be completely finished. You could say our 5-year mission was to seek out new Trek, actually seek out real Trek. Not new Trek because it's all garbage. So that was a smokescreen. We are here to review. Oh, Shooter, thank you so much, Shooter.
Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my
Thank you,
God,
Shooter.
Larry.
Both of you. Shooter, thank you so much for gifting 10 Clobbering Times memberships.
Wow.
You're too kind, buddy. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh,
And Larry, thank you for gifting 5 memberships, my friend. I really appreciate it. Both just so kind and generous. Thank you so much.
Growing this channel. I love you, Shooter. I love you, Larry. Thank you for everything. You guys are the best.
Thank you so much, my friends. I do appreciate it.
And if you would like, please avail yourself of those memberships. You can find them up at the top of the chat. And if you have any difficulty in acquiring them, or you don't know how the mechanism works, please just ask Larry. Larry, he'll give you a hand. One of the wrenches will help you through the process of how to select it and get it on the go. Oh my gosh,
Larry! Thank you.
Holy cow!
Thank you so much, Larry. Again, I'm gobsmacked. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, you guys,
you're too kind.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Shooter, Larry, thank you so much, my friends. It's amazing. Yeah, we're going green, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was I doing? Oh, well, we got the shout outs, and we got again with those thank yous. So we decided to review all of real, legitimate Star Trek. Oh my God, Shooter, this is a gifting contest.
Guys.
Man, oh man, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You guys are the best.
I don't know what to say.
You guys, get a hold of those memberships. This is incredibly generous of these 2 amazing men who are all over the internet supporting indie authors and indie creators. These 2 guys, they put their money where their mouth is, where other people are just, bitching and moaning and complaining about, the lack of quality entertainment. These 2 guys go out of their way to make it possible for creators. I just love these two gentlemen. Please get that membership. You would not believe how much fun you're going to have having a one-on-one with Clobby when he does his membership stream. And also, we have the most ridiculous emojis. Everyone here requests silly emojis, and then I make them custom for the channel. So it's just great fun. And thank you so much for doing that, guys.
Appreciate it. You guys are just too kind. Thank you. My goodness. Thanks, buddies. Really.
Oh, Captain Infinity just walked through the door.
Bubba Doom 1, welcome, my friend. And Captain Infinity and beyond, welcome, Cap. We got some time travel for you tonight. Okay, sort of. All right, so anyway, let me get back to the introduction. I almost forgot where it was. So we started reviewing all of what we call real Star Trek, 1966 to 2005. The only Trek that counts. Everything else is corporate sludge. So the 735 Club, if you will. Everything else is the filth. And only because I say so, at least according to some fools who can't understand jokes. But anyway, mainly just because it's just the way we roll here. Roll some other kind of way if you want to, but that's the way we roll here. Anyway, so we started, of course, with Star Trek, the original series. Then continued on to Star Trek, the animated series, the Star Trek, the Next Generation, Star Trek, the Next Generation films, and then Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. Oh, wait a minute. Before Next Generation, we did the original crew films.
We did.
Then TNG films, Star Trek DS9. And now we're smack dab in the middle almost the middle of Star Trek Voyager Season 4.
We're here. We're here. And
And,
guess who just walked through the door, boss? Bubba
Um,
Doom!
you didn't hear me shout him out just a minute
No,
ago?
I didn't hear.
Really? Weird.
Yeah.
I did.
Probably losing my mind.
I shouted him out because he popped in right before our buddy Finity did.
Yeah,
Anyway.
this is what happens when you read the chat and you
Don't
try
worry
and
about
do
it.
the show.
Don't worry.
Sorry, boss.
You're good. No, but it's good to see you, Bubba Doom. Okay, so anyway, that's it. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we you know, because we had a couple of weeks off from the review grind because it was Christmas and New Year's and what have you. So now we will pick up where we left off. Our last episode we reviewed just so happened to be at part 1 of a cliffhanger thingy. That, of course, episode was Year of Hell Part 1, which we reviewed. And now we continue with number 1. We contribute with Year of Hell Part 2. Take it away.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna review Year of Hell Part 2. This is season 4, episode 9. If you're following along in the companion or the celebration, which is the only place you should be getting information, especially production information on these shows, please do not go to IMDb or the cesspool formerly known as Memory Alpha. It is so polluted with the filth. It's like they brought all of their poopy diapers to those user-generated systems. They suck, and they cause so many problems in the fandom. Most of the stuff on there is total BS. So if you're in the companion or you're in the celebration and you're following along tonight looking for that production information, this is production code 177. This episode first aired on November 12th, 1997. That's when we all first watched it. Some of us have been watching it ever since because we like to inflict pain upon ourselves. Now, let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'm going to read a little summary from Wikipedia. Now, I don't support getting your information from Wikipedia, but the summary is just a way of everyone who is here tonight, if they didn't have a chance to watch the episode, it's a way of them saying, oh, yeah, I remember that episode, so that they feel comfortable giving those reviews. Okay, the composition is usually absolutely atrocious, but we laugh at it and we carry on anyways because it's short, it's sweet, and it's good for the podcast. So let's get it on. Captain Janeway makes an alliance with local races to attack the Krenim time ship. The senior staff move to the Allied ships, while Janeway remains behind on Voyager to pilot the heavily damaged ship herself. With the help of a dissatisfied crew member, Chakotay and Paris take the time ship's temporal core. Temporal. I go to too many Japanese restaurants and then I'm thinking of tempura. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Core offline, rendering it vulnerable to attack and beamed to the nearest Allied ship. Using conventional weaponry, the time ship disables the Allied ships. Voyager is crippled when one of the ships collides with her, theorizing that the original timeline may be restored if the Krenim ship is destroyed by its own weapon. Janeway orders the fleet to drop their shields and rams Voyager into the time ship while it is powering up for another incursion. Voyager is destroyed while the Krenim ship's core destabilizes and explodes. This erases the time ship from history, resetting the timeline, and his ship is erased. As his ship is erased, Anarax witnesses his wife's lock of hair vanish and appears to realize the significance of what is about to happen. Reversing all of his changes will bring Anarax's wife back as well, fulfilling his ultimate goal. In the original timeline, Voyager once again ventures into Krenim space. This time, the captain of the Krenim warship is moderate. He advises Voyager that this area of space is under dispute and suggests that they avoid it. After giving the command to plot a course around the disputed space, Janeway remarks to Chakotay that she is thinking of replicating a bottle of wine for Voyager's rededication ceremony, saying the vintage is a good year. It's supposed to be champagne, not wine. Elsewhere, Anarax works diligently in his study. His wife enters and asks him to enjoy the day with her. Anarax hesitates for a moment, and he decides he can make time for her as well. So we have all these time jokes. It's ridiculous. They leave while his work remains on his desk, depicting the calculations for his initial alteration of the timeline. And that is all Wikipedia has to say about Year of Hell Part 2. So let's throw it over to the captain. Captain, my captain, mon capitaine. Please tell me, what did you think of Year of Hell Part 2?
Okay, first of all, I want to say hello to Omega Supreme. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome to Clobbering Times.
Hello.
Son Lee, welcome. Greetings.
Son
Good to see you.
Lee.
Professor R2, good to see you. Thanks for popping in.
Nice to see you, R2.
Okay, I'm going to make there is such a thing as Clobby's Law. As the great Captain Infinity, the maker of Temperus Maximus says, I have decided that I will not review an episode that never happened. And these two, this episode does not exist. It exists, but it doesn't. It doesn't exist because it does not.
Oh,
it never happened. This is a story, quote unquote, that never happened. It's a waste of I'm trying to this story, both parts are mindless drivel because they're a waste of time. You can say what you want about time travel stories. They all have their problems. But when your story erases everything that was on before it, I have no respect for you. I mean, look, like we make fun of all of the, and like Finity, he's a big stickler on time travel stuff, and I understand why. But when there's a time travel story to pick apart, we do it. We make fun of it. We make our jokes. When the ending erases everything that happened for 2 hours, 2 parts, it is meaningless twaddle.
Mm-hmm.
This episode did not happen. I'm not giving it an A or an F or anything. It did not happen.
Oh, wow.
I give it a 0. I have nothing to say about it.
I'll wait until Mark hears about that. That's going on the spreadsheet.
I just did say something about it, obviously. But everything I just said, I want you all to remember, I'm erasing it from time, so I didn't say it. I don't exist anymore. That episode doesn't exist. So you'll be reviewing something that didn't exist. Rob Altus exists.
Hey, Rob!
Rob Altus exists. So this episode doesn't goddamn exist. It is an insult to everyone's intelligence if their intelligence existed, but they don't. Because no one has any intelligence left. If you watch this episode, I'm sorry, no matter how smart you think you are, you don't have any left because you don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You don't. You may think you exist, but if you watch this episode, you don't. So stop existing. Stop pretending you exist. Stop pretending that I exist. That current world exists. There's only one thing that exists in this life now, and it's this.
Is because you're a dumbass.
There's only one thing I want to say to you.
You're a dumbass.
That's all that happened ever now. This did not happen. This episode is bullshit. Wait a minute, I take it back. It can't be bullshit because that bullshit at least happened. Nothing happened. It's nothing. I take it back. It's not bad or good. It's not right or wrong. It didn't friggin' happen. So it's nothing. I'm ranting and making noise about nothing, which means I'm the worst idiot. I'm a worse idiot than the idiots that wrote this. Now, well, no one can be worse than the idiots that wrote this. You know why? Because those idiots that wrote this don't exist anymore. And they never did exist. And you know what else doesn't exist? Existence doesn't exist. We do not exist. There's only one thing that exists anymore ever in the cosmos, and it's this.
Is because you're a dumbass.
That's what you are, writers. You're not writers. So it never happened. I'm sorry.
Shooter wants the Clawbony.
But the Clawbony doesn't exist.
Yes, it does.
There's no Clawbony anymore. It doesn't. I'll tell you what. But since it's Shooter, only for you will it exist for a second, if I can find it. Why can't I find it? I'm not kidding. It really doesn't exist. No, here it is. All right, there you go.
Crap. Neelix, and I strongly pass. Hey, did I tell you that I hate Neelix and I strongly dislike Cass? Neelix and I strongly dislike Cass.
All right. Now, I think we should consult the greatest captain of all time, what he thinks about this. Is from him to the writer of this episode.
There's only one thing I want to say to you.
You're a dumbass.
Captain, I see no reason to stand here and be insulted.
It's because you're a dumbass.
Okay, everybody. Now, I'm sorry, number one, that I've ruined it for you. I'm sad.
Oh, I love it. I love it when you go off.
Love it. I wish you existed because you're so wonderful. It's a shame that you don't exist either, but I want you to give your non-existent review to. By the way, I love you all, but you don't exist either. I don't. Nothing. What I just said doesn't exist. The football game on the TV right now doesn't exist. So go on, then go and not exist your review.
Okay.
Right? So,
folks, these are my notes. I've been watching Star Trek for over 45 years now. And when Clubby and I first started out on this journey, we decided we were going to use vetted texts and we were going to bring our experiences with Star Trek as Trekkies to bear on the material. So I thought, why don't I do some notes? So if you're new around here, that's what this section is called. It's the notes I take while I'm watching the episode, because I rewatch Star Trek every year, starting on January 1st. I watch all 735 iterations of it while I'm exercising. So anyway, these are my notes. I absolutely love the line, "Would you rather have an indoor nebula?" Janeway says that to the Doctor, and I think it's a cute little line. 200 years of killing trillions of people and wiping out entire species and races. And in the 200 years, no one has tried to stop anoraks. They don't encounter any resistance, not even any type of border controls.
Good point.
I mean, I talked about this before, and some folks in the chat who wanted to suspend their disbelief, they were like, no. But here, the full impact of the nincompoopery becomes apparent. I do love when Seven says it is offensive when she's commenting on Neelix's energy drink. Also another cute line. But these two cute lines can't save this episode.
Yeah.
60% of Janeway's body was burned, according to the Doctor, but her hair is fine and her clothes aren't even singed. They're dirty, but they're untouched. So 60% of your body burned with third-degree burns. You don't get up and your clothes look great and your hair looks awesome.
Her clothes are made of unstable molecules like the Fantastic Four has. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just ridiculous. Tom's lines in this episode don't make any sense. There is no way the crew is over 200 years old. So there's a point where he says to this gentleman who he's trying to get involved with taking down anoraks. He says, you've been doing this for 200 years. So the thing is that the way that Tom phrases it, it's as though they are not in normal space, but the way that he phrases it, it is as though they are in normal space. So go back and read that script, and it just, every time I hear it, it makes me so angry. I just sit up and I'm like, why did Brandon Braga and Joe Menosky write that line for Tom? Because it's a stupid line. Because what you would need to then think once he gets that sentence out is that this race doesn't age. And that's fine, but tell us that from the outset. And it's very clear that isn't the case from the outset. And then I put in my notes, I buy some sort of a time envelope created by the ship, suspending them in time. But 200 actual years of this time changing that they're doing makes no sense. Because you have to think about what would be happening if what Tom says is true. It would mean that they were on this time changing ship for 200 years. There are no women. There's no procreation. There are no deaths. There are no illnesses. Just a skeleton crew of men on an intergenerational genocide machine. So that it doesn't make sense. And then what's worse is after Tom establishes that they've been on the ship for 200 years, doing this for 200 years, they're not suspended in this envelope that everyone thinks they're suspended in. They're like, why did Tom just say that? Immediately afterwards, like, I don't know, like maybe 2-3 minutes later, they talk about the fact that they're going to phase back into normal space time. So it's just there is no care or attention on the dialogue in this episode. They don't establish the nature of this species. I once again, I'm going to say this, and I don't care who it upsets. If they were actually doing this for 200 years, it would have to be an intergenerational genocide ship. And there would be women, there would be children, people would age. So why are these the same skeleton crew of men, 6 or 7 of these guys running this let's alter time ship? I also am going to stand by my original comments from part 1, where I said that no normal person would stand by while trillions and trillions and trillions of people and whole species and entire races, and think about all of the animals and all the evolution and the insects and everything that would happen on these planets, and they're just completely wiped out, and the people who are on this ship do nothing about it. The first time this guy tried to kill trillions of people, I would smash him over the back of his head. I would hog tie him, and he would immediately go into the brig, and then I would detonate his ship. No normal person would stand by with trillions and trillions and trillions of humanoids, plus all of these different species, and just allow him to kill people. And then, like I said, there's also this idea that they come in and out of the fact that either they're in normal space or they're not, and they come in and out of it. So it's just really, really shitty writing. And at that point, if you have a double-digit IQ, at least, you don't even need to have a 3-digit IQ. You would be asking yourself, how is this an intergenerational ship with no women, no procreation, no deaths, no illnesses, just this skeleton crew of men willing to kill trillions and trillions and trillions of humanoid species, plus all animals and all life on these planets?
Yeah, that's a very good. By the way, hey there, Simply Steve and SP4H. Hello there.
I mean, wouldn't you phaser this guy? I mean, I would. Like, I don't advocate for
Yeah.
violence, but like,
No,
I would
guy's the
take this
worst.
guy down.
They've made it. See, the whole setup of this, if it existed, is that they've made this guy the most horrible villain ever. He's okay, and it's not like he has this kind of background like rhymes with Schindler or whatever. He was just a scientist who lost. I know they're going for the Ahab thing, I guess, but it's not even that. He's
No.
not getting revenge on anyone.
No.
There was let's see, something happened, some kind of time accident, right? That he was trying to do something with time travel and wiped out his people, right?
Yep.
And he's out there at first pulling on threads to try to get them back, which is one thing. And it's dopey, but whatever, right? But then how is he the same person who's just a scientist who's trying to solve a problem, right or wrong, a mistake he made? Just say, you know what? I'm going to take a chance to get him back. Oh, look, I think I cost like trillions of people's lives. Whoops. Let me try it again.
And why did they return to the one spot? Do you know what I'm saying?
The whole episode is so much gobbledygook in the dialogue and everything.
No, like Clobby, like think about it. Why was there no delineation in the dialogue if he had been up to that for 200 years?
Right.
And then like the settling scenes, the final scenes, it appears that they're both in the same place in time. And he was apparently doing this for 200 years. So if she destroys his ship, doesn't he go back 200 years ago?
One would think, but my brain is going to blow up if I try to think about it.
But do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what?
Tetrarch of apathy.
So apathetic.
Hey. So yeah, no, everything about this episode, well, both episodes, but in this one, it deals more with what's his face, Chakotay and Paris. Look, I like the character Chakotay,
Mm-hmm.
but he's sitting around, trying to, thinking it's not such a bad guy. He's defending this scumbag.
Yep.
He's the worst monster that ever existed. Oh, wait a minute, he didn't exist. Sorry, but if he did exist, he's the worst monster ever because he doesn't give a flying crap about bazillions upon bazillions upon bazillions of people. So what? And not just people, animals, life, you name it, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a crazy thing to wrap your brain around. At some point, I don't understand, and we've said this about a lot of episodes they've done. At some point, I don't understand how someone in the quote unquote writer's room, or maybe it's like a janitor's closet they sit in. I don't know.
It's Brandon Braga and Joe Manofsky,
And
and
they
I
sit
hate
there.
both of them.
Well, of course. I don't know how someone doesn't say, look, this is just, how about we just not do this one? We'll do this or something else. Do something else.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. There are stories that you go, well, this could have been better for this reason, or this could have been better for that. Maybe if you've done this, it's flawed for that one. It's an interesting idea, but they didn't do it right. Oh, this is not one of those. This is not when you go, well, it's a flawed story, so I'm giving it a D because it's got this and that and the other thing wrong with it. This is you throw this in the garbage.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. Make sure it doesn't exist by taking it out of your stupid numbskull Brandon Braga and Joe Manofsky, and you put it in the crapper.
Yeah,
nothing about this is good.
I like what you brought up about Chakotay too, because it puts Chakotay in a position where you're disgusted with him and you no longer like him either, because according to Joe Manofsky and Brandon Braga herein, no one would stand up to somebody murdering all of these trillions and hundreds of trillions. Like he talks about all of the humanoid species he's erased, whole cultures, whole races of people. And so the assumption, the viewer's assumption is that no one would be willing to take action on that, save Tom Paris and Janeway. And it's just no one actually, like, she even gets guff from 7 of 9 who wants to just proceed. And I think incredulous. I believe that I believe in the goodness of human beings. And I'm like Gene Roddenberry, believe in the very best of people. I don't want to meditate on or put forward this idea that all human beings are disgusting. We're not. And I believe in hope and goodness. And I just can't get over this concept. We're talking about hundreds of trillions. I would easily give my life to save one other human being, never mind hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trillions of beings, little baby children. We're talking about babies, moms, dads, grandpas, like what? Aunts and uncles and like, I can't believe, like, who would believe this? Who would believe this scenario? It's just unbelievable. This guy should have been tackled on the bridge the first day.
And they thought they were doing some kind of clever master of the world type thing, but they're not at all.
No.
What's up, Marco? What you doing?
Hey, Mark. Mark's backstage, everyone. He's in the green room. He might not be able to come on, but we just wanted to acknowledge that he's here.
That means he's plotting something.
Well, I was plotting something, but I'll stay back. I'm just gonna. There's a special surprise I'm putting in.
Thank you, Mark.
Because I love this episode so much. It's phenomenal.
Get out of here! You did not.
Let us know when you're ready.
I made it back through the planet Hoth, but I'm just gonna be quiet here, and I'll put these clips on.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
So in many ways, I find this antithetical to the Star Trek ethos. You know, there's where is the Star Trek ethic here? Where is the Gene Roddenberry ethic? Where you know, at the core of every human being, there is hope, there is benevolence, there is, you know, you can compassionate even your foe, never mind, you know, hundreds and hundreds of trillions of innocent people who are being murdered by this person.
I'm going to tell you what this is, by the way. Let me put something into perspective for you here. Brandon Braga, I don't know about Minovsky, maybe him too. Brandon Braga, as we've established, loves the horror, the awful, the horrible, the dark, the sick, the twisted.
Mm-hmm.
And in other words, he's the one that's always doing the episodes where people are turning into monsters and this kind of crap, right? Well, he likes to see just chaos and destruction and ugliness in something called Star Trek, because he's a jackass. That's why. And so what do we get? 2 episodes of the ship being, you know, in a horrible, being destroyed, the crew, you know, abandoning. I mean, being forced to abandon. You know, most of it anyway. It's shot up. It's a year of hell.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he gets off on that crap. He gets off on turning people into ugly monsters. He loves distorting. This is a jackass who is holding a mo for the most part anyway, was to make ugly Star Trek ugly. I don't know what else to conclude. Ugly, and not just turning them into monsters like he's done, but doing what he did to the ship in this 2-part episode, you know, being shot up and by getting killed and having he has an excuse. He gives himself this the time travel out bullshit, knowing that he can blow everybody up and eventually kill Janeway and everybody else and have the ship get blown to bits because time travel is going to allow him just to reset it, and it never happened. It's garbage writing. Absolutely trash, horrible writing.
The thing about Janeway too is that, like, the fact that she's like crazy mechanic Kathy, and, you know, and she's everywhere and she's fixing everything, and she's going to go down with the ship and everything. I never bought any of that either. Do you know what I mean? Like, Captain Kirk makes it very clear that there are a required amount of human bodies in order to make sure that all systems are working. And so it's just like, I don't buy any of that. I just don't. It's like they take everything to the maximum. They take everything to the extreme. But I think this episode's worst offense is that it's a nincompoopery. And then I think its second worst offense is that it expects the viewer to have no Star Trek ethos. There's no ethic there. It's to assume that you would just be, you know, pedestrian. You're just a bystander watching trillions and trillions of people being murdered by this guy, and to alter the character of Chakotay in the mind of the viewer, because now you think to yourself, okay, so now Chakotay is supposed to be this person who was fighting in this resistance because he believes that all life is precious. He's somebody who won't even enter into a scenario where somebody may be buried lest he offend someone's ancestry or some type of religious belief. And yet here he is defending this maniac who is murdering hundreds of trillions of people. So you're just watching this and you're thinking to yourself, geez, this might be the dumbest Star Trek ever made. You can't buy into any of the scenarios or what's happening with the characters. And if you do, you think to yourself, wow, all of these people are pieces of.
It seems your Imperium never existed. Perhaps you could shed some light on this.
It's because you're a dumbass.
And? Oh, sorry.
State your identity.
I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation Starship Voyager. Who are you and where are my men?
You're a dumbass.
Go for it again. One more.
This is one year I'd like to forget.
It's because you're a dumbass.
Time's up.
It's because you're a dumbass. It's because you're a dumbass.
I think we're in Babylon 5. What the hell?
I hope you liked it.
I did.
It's just great. It's just great. But I would
Thank
like
you.
to, in closing, I would like to say before I give my final grade that the 735 Club, if we were on that bridge with that lunatic, that guy would not have been able to kill his first billion, never mind his first trillion, because all 200 or 300 people who come here, especially those who are active in the chat, the 50 or 60 people who are always active in our chat, these are all Starfleet officers. And the first thing that they would do is we would work together to get this guy out of command. It would be an instant mutiny. This guy is, this guy is pus. This guy is puke. This guy is the gum on the bottom of your shoe. And I will never buy into the idea that Joe Minosky and Brennan Braga are trying to push here. And that is that the vast majority of people are stupid and they would just stand by. We know that's not true. We hear that so much on these stupid YouTube channels. Everybody's a sheep. You're a sheep. Meanwhile, they don't consider themselves sheep. I don't believe that. And I definitely don't believe that of Americans. Have you ever watched footage of somebody having a heart attack in their car and their car's rolling down the street and like 10 or 15 Americans will get out of their vehicle and work together to get the car stopped on foot, smashing the back window out, opening the door, getting the person out of the car and performing CPR. Someone's calling an ambulance. People are good. And we all come together, and people are at their core good. I believe in love and in good people. And I don't believe in the narrative that we are all heartless animals and that we're all just, nihilistic and we don't care about anything. They can take that story and they can ram it really far up their butt. It's where I would like to put a Klingon paint stick, just right up their butt. And that's all I got to say.
Princess Fiona, welcome, my dear. Okay, we need to speed this up because we've been spending way too much time on this, something that doesn't exist. So I want to say, let's see here. Number one, we can give our ratings, and then everyone, you can start putting your reviews in now. And then I'm going to bring some Max Redstone entertainment.
It's an F.
Yeah.
It's an F. I'm giving it an F, everyone. It's an F. It's yes, Simply Steve. It's a special suppository. That's right. We're going to call it the Klingon suppository.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to, it really doesn't exist, so I give it a non-existent rating, but yeah, just to be doing it, it's a freaking F. It's garbage. So anyway, while number one is gathering your reviews, I will bring us some Max Redstone entertainment. So here we go. Year of Hell Part 2 by the great Max Redstone. Atarax is a man made of brass. His intentions are so very crass. To rearrange time, send bipeds back to slime. Success? Not for this dumbass. Yeah!
Okay, I have to unmute to say that was absolutely excellent. I have to mute again so people don't have to hear my clickety clicks.
This is for you, Max. This is dedicated to you, Max.
It seems your Imperium never existed. Perhaps you could shed some light on this.
It's because you're a dumbass.
I got to read it one more time. It's too good. All right. Year of Hell Part 2 by Max Redstone. Atarax is a man made of brass. His intentions are so very crass. To rearrange time, send bipeds back to slime. Success? Not for this dumbass.
It seems your Imperium never existed. Perhaps you could shed some light on this.
It's because you're a dumbass.
State your identity.
I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation Starship Voyager. Who are you and where are my men?
You're a dumbass.
Okay, we'll start reading your reviews. Well done, by the way. Big thanks to the great chief engineer, everybody. Oh, God. Shooter says, F this episode. Of course, the senior crew members remain on board. Shouldn't the leadership be spread out with the crew who left? Who know because their leaders, the writers, are sure dumbasses. Yes. I'm sure they were probably the rest of the crews were glad to get rid of all those dumbasses. Chipotle succumbs to the dark side by helping the villain attempt to restore a hostile species empire. Yeah, unbelievable. And to be frank, I find it insulting. The writers are double dumbasses. Yes. The writers are triple dumbasses. So Anorax collects trophies of the civilizations of other races, including food, which he eats with his prisoners. No, it makes zero sense. Art would be more believable. Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, and it's like they're trying to get like who else takes trophies? Serial killers. So what? What? Like,
Yeah,
there's no way that I could drink that wine or eat that food. There'd be no way. These are my trophies of the people who I killed. What? What?
Good point. The ending is the worst. They sacrifice Voyager to destroy the temporal weapon, and we go back to as if nothing happened. Weak and makes the whole thing pointless. That's anytime you do something like that, it makes it pointless because it literally, to the story anyway, did not happen. It's insanity. The threat this could happen. The threat this could happen again. History repeating also makes no sense and renders the story even more pointless. The idea was interesting, but not like this. Not for Star Trek. I hear you. Scuba Pete says A+. Never a finer F. What am I saying? F. This plot is so thin, it's anorexic. I got you. Very good, sir. I like it. I like it. Look. Thank you, Scuba.
Love you, Scuba Pete.
Let's see here. Stan Lee says an F-. I'm right there with the same place.
And are you aware that Gwagnar just walked through the door?
I am now.
Gwagnar!
What's up, Gwag?
Gwag!
Good to see you, old chum. All right, Enigmatic Drop Bear says a D. This two-parter has significant structural problems. At its core, it is a relatively simple tale about ambition, megalomania, and salvation. The temporal mechanics, however, bog the story down in unnecessary and enormous complexity. To pull it off required immense talent, both in story construction and screenplay, all lacking here. The resolution felt rushed and incredibly convenient. There are no apparent consequences, and even memories of the experience, and even members of the experience. Sorry, it never actually happened, and was a complete waste of time. I'm with you on that one, buddy.
I agree.
I hear you that one, bud. This story, without the temporal baggage, could have been the template for the entirety of the show's run. A more realistic and interesting proposition than the sterile TNG-like stories we got. Very interesting indeed. Thank you so much, Enigmatic Drop Bear. Buddy.
Lisa's here.
Lisa. What's up, Lisa?
Everyone, Lisa's here. She snuck in.
Good to see you, Lisa. Hope you're doing well, my dear. Let's see here. Michael Beacom says D-. I could convict Braga. I could convict Braga, Minosky, and director Vijar of attempted science fiction with this one. Though again, they're on my bad side from the get-go with time travel. But this one is not as obnoxious as others. Though I expected Kurtwood Smith to step out dressed as the master. And have Tom Baker's Doctor and Sarah Jane come flying in on the TARDIS. Seriously, I will redub this. Oh, there you go. I'm with you. This episode, I will redub this episode with the beginning credits of The Time Tunnel and fulfill Braga's deepest desire. They failed, but we're at least trying to do some science fiction. Just wish they understood science in fiction. Sorry about that, Michael, for messing it up for you. Thank you, buddy. Penny said it is an F-.
I agree, Penny.
I'm with you. Professor R2 says, I give it a dumbass out of 10.
Thank you, R2.
What you're basically saying about this episode, sir, is
State your identity.
I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation Starship Voyager. Who are you and where are my men?
You're a dumbass.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor R2.
So good.
Oh, God. Maximum Redstone says 1 out of 10. Wow, early. D. D for dumbass. So I think what you're trying to say then is this.
It seems your Imperium never existed. Perhaps you could shed some light on this.
Is because you're a dumbass.
I'll stop. I promise everyone. I can't resist it. It's like a kid in a candy store.
R2 says that he did it on purpose, that they're all doing it on purpose just because they love, they just want an excuse to play that clip over and over again. So, and I agree with R2. Everyone loves that. Oh, and you just received a gift from Michael Beacom.
I'll be right there, Michael. Thank you. We finish with these real quick. Thank you, Michael. D for dumbass. This episode fails to deliver like a dumbass would fail. I feel myself becoming more and more of a dumbass just by typing this. Anorex made a dumbass mistake. And what is this?
Yeah, and so now he's somebody who we know would kill trillions, hundreds of trillions of people, and we just let him off. It's all good. And everyone, just so you know, Penny is going to bed. So she's saying goodnight to everyone. And Penny, I just want to thank you for making Clobberin Times a part of your nightly routine.
Thank you, Penny.
It feels so special to be like your radio station or your talk station before bed. It's such a huge honor. And sleep sweet, my beautiful friend. Have a great night.
Thank you, Penny. You know, we're actually fortunate that this episode is so stupid, both of them, because if Kurtwood Smith had been in a good episode, it wouldn't be as much fun to play.
State your identity.
I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation Starship Voyager. Who are you and where are my men?
You're a dumbass.
So it's good for that. That's right. By being more of a dumbass, I could try and calculate how many times he doubled down. However, I am now too much of a dumbass to do the
It seems your Imperium never existed. Perhaps you could shed some light on this.
Is because you're a dumbass.
I'm sorry. He keeps making me do it. I can't help it. Oh my God. Stop it, Max. You're killing me. Oh, this episode did not have to be toward the mass. Toward the dumbass. As we know now, Kurtwood Smith is quiet. Oh, good at playing characters who handle dumbasses. Why did they bother taking Chakotay out of isolation? I don't know. I think probably just, the only real answer to that is, in fact,
Is because you're a dumbass.
Freaking this episode was written by dumbasses, acted out in the manner of dumbasses. Neelix looks like a dumbass in that form. There can be a story of depth and color instead. They checked with Kirk, by the way.
There's only one thing I want to say to you.
You're a dumbass.
I'm having too much fun. For everyone that doesn't exist, I'm having too much fun with it. We are exposed to the United Federation of Dumbasses and the Dumbass Imperium and the Dumbass Nebula. This episode was by, for, and of dumbasses.
And this is one year I'd like to forget.
Is because you're a dumbass.
Time's up.
Is because you're a dumbass. Is because you're a dumbass.
All right, I promise no more. We gotta hurry up. We're gonna be here all night.
But you're having fun.
I'm sorry. We're all going to Year of Hell. We're all going to hell. Oh, Jill says D+. The compelling portrayal by Kurtwood is undermined by the unbelievable nature of his evil, which is supposed to be an entire crew, and the questionable way in which time does not pass for them.
I have to interrupt for 2 wags of a puppy's tail because our friend Pop Culture Republic, Pop, just walked in the door and said, "What a time to hop in the chat with a giant laughing out loud." So nice to see Pop Culture Republic.
What's up, Pop Culture Republic? Welcome, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. She says, however, we found out what happens when Janeway encounters the worst situations. She becomes reckless and succumbs to anarchy, paying extreme disrespect to the Doctor. Speaking of, Tom does the same to Chakotay later when he undermined him, and Chakotay is somehow okay with genocidal megalomania now. What did I miss? Yeah, well, it was just I don't know. It's good part, Jill. You got me. Did I enjoy the drama, the entertainment value, and effects nonetheless? Yes. That's how I don't fail. I don't fail this non-existent episode. Don't feel this is a maybe you mean this is a non-existent. Okay. Does the time travel make sense? No. Also, yes. But does it exist is my question.
I have to interject again, although it's quite rude. I beg your pardon, Captain, but it's important that everyone knows that Ray Lucard just walked through the door. Good evening, Ray.
Hey.
Nice to see you.
Ray Lucard. Hello there. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. All right. Anonymous Gamer says F. He just gives it an F. Thank you. That's all it deserves.
You actually have quite a few very short messages coming from Anonymous Gamer.
Oh, okay.
Who is just lighting up the chat with the kindest words about everyone here and about this show. So, Anonymous Gamer, thank you. And I start all those comments for the captain.
We got to whiz through these episodes as late as we are now. I made it worse by being late to begin with. Sorry, everybody. Michael Beacom, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, want to see time travel done right? Watch Outer Limits, the man who was never born. Yes, Outer Limits. Greatness. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Michael. RRTNZ says, Yo, H, my review part 1. I'm not sure what the YOH means. But,
Year of Hell.
Okay. Sorry. We don't usually get people putting the episodes down there. Okay, so I got you. All right, thank you. The idea that time has modes is ridiculous. Moods is ridiculous. But Kurtwood Smith commits to the role so deeply that we can accept it. While there are practical and logical there are a practical and logical problem. Hang on a second, R. I got to find your next one. Hang on, R. I'm looking. Okay. Gotcha. Part story. His performance sells us on what a lesser actor could not. The main cast are also pretty good at conveying their exhaustion, I think you mean, as Voyager literally crumbles around them. Even, hang on, buddy. I'm trying to find your other one. Okay, here we go. Even for once, okay. Anyway, for once, I admire Janeway for going down with her ship in a way that any true Klingon would envy. The ending is a bit convenient, but feels earned, particularly Anorax's second chance. A-. Okay.
And Bossman, I just wanted you to know that the chat is sorting quite strangely this evening. You're seeing huge gaps between the posters, the multi-posts, and I think you have missed Antiderivative Jill's 5 out of 5 boss.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's because I got. You know what happens if I get distracted or something like that? I forget. I'm sorry, Jill.
That's okay, sweetheart.
Did you announce something or something?
No, you're just, you know what? There were like 80 of them tonight. So just go ahead, boss. Don't worry.
Sorry,
no
Jill.
one has any feelings. They know how loaded up the chat is. So don't worry about it, boss.
Still got 33 more.
I know, boss. You were at over 80 tonight. So just take your time and get through them.
So sorry, Jill. I just totally whiffed on it. I don't know. How could the ship exist if it erased its own existence? What did the final incursion do? I don't know, paradoxes and malleable timelines. ... Thank you, Jill. Again, my apologies, dear. I'm an idiot. Raymond Feliciano says F, but this episode doesn't exist. Yes, sir. That's what I keep saying. Wish it didn't. Jeez. 1 out of 10 says anonymous gamer.
Yep.
Sandra Feliciano says F. First, it doesn't exist. People step up to do what's right when the chips are down. The idea that people live centuries for revenge is stupid too.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed. The B team writers would have done better. Thank you.
That's a great review.
The A team writers would have done better, if you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Lisa says this episode proves that Tuvok blindly follows Janeway. Couldn't good one. Blindly, I get it. Couldn't keep my eyes off the temporal pimples. What? Temporal boils or temporal tumors. Anyway, it's time confusing mess that deserves a non-existent D-. Thank you so much.
Agreed, Lisa. Agreed.
Got you covered. Thank you, Lisa. Let's see. The Gwag man, Wagner says, grade F for both parts of this dumpster fire of a story. The actors and the fact that it is not a Neelix story. Save it from a dozen more minuses added to the F.
I'm just going to get you to pause there, but don't take Gwag down. I need to announce that Eric K., the great Eric K., has just walked through the door. And I would just like to say hello to David Roberts, who is accessing us through X, wishing one and all a very happy new year. So thank you so much, David Roberts, and thank you for joining us. And Bossman, please continue.
David Roberts, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. It's good to see you, Eric, buddy. Why haven't Anorax and the Krenim realized that even if they restored everything, they're still 200 years from when they started, as they're not time travelers, but just altering time.
Right.
Good indeed.
Gwag.
Way to go, Gwag. So their families would be dead unless Krenim are long-lived, or the families would have lived their lives without them and moved on. Oh, this gives me a headache, this temporal mechanics crap. Just do some regular stories. Or maybe their families wouldn't have existed.
Yeah. You were thinking all the same things I was thinking while I was watching it, Gwag.
Thank you, Gwag. Yeah, absolutely, Gwagger. Insane Way is the worst captain of all time. She ignores the Krenim warnings because they pose no threat to Voyager, but then continue to ignore them once they become more powerful. Yep. Pretty much. Outgunned, they should have reversed course, but they continued forward. She makes irrational decisions, such as leaving relative safety while the ship is still completely crippled. That's for show. Then the reset button is pressed, and this story never happened. Too bad this didn't extend to the 2 episodes themselves, so I got the time back I spent watching them. Good one, Greg. I'm with you there, Quack, sir. Finally, Janeway makes the decision to avoid the contested area of space, which is what she should have done at the start of the first part. More garbage from Braga and Minoski.
Agreed. What an excellent review.
You said it, buddy.
Throw that mic. Just drop it right now.
Anonymous Gamer says it does not exist. Absolutely. Fanty says D for dumbassery. Yep. D for dumbass. I can explain this, but the garbage writers could not. The reason his crew didn't turn on him because they were killing no one. The accident put them outside of real time.
I'm going to stop you right there, but don't lose your place, because I just have to tell you that Value of Nothing just walked through the door and said, "Can we start over? I missed the beginning." Value of Nothing, welcome. So good to see you. You're in the thick of it now, and we're just trying to hustle through this first episode. We had a late start because the captain was at a convention. So feel free to just dig in and have a good time. Captain, please continue with Fanty.
All right, Value of Nothing. Good to see you. Thank you, by the way. Everything they did was them shifting in time. So in one timeline, these choices, this result of the changes, they are now in a different timeline. The one they were just in continues on without them.
Brogu, welcome.
Brogu from my old hometown. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Fanty, what's your next one? Is that 2? Let me find 3.
It's far down.
That's 2. His next one is 4. Then there's 5.
There's no 3 there?
Then there's 6.
Weird. Let me go see. Let me go find it. Let me go find it.
That's it. 2 is at 10:26 my time. I guess 9:26 your time.
Thanks, sweetheart. Yeah. I'll go look.
That's
6. And the chat just jumped.
We have spent all night on one stupid episode. The whole show.
Hold on, baby.
It's not you, it's all of us. We're all doing it.
4. And then where the hell's 3? Did he get vaporized?
I don't have number 3 for you, Fandy. We got to make some tracks.
I got it.
Oh, go ahead and start then.
It's at the end. It's always harder for me to see it when it's at the end. It's there, boss.
All this is them switching channels and times from the reason no one stopped him is they didn't engage with anyone till Voyager, and that engagement locked both ships in time. All right, let me go try to find 4.
4 better be there. I'm gonna
I got 4.
Burn down StreamYard.
So when Voyager was destroyed, it reset the timeline for Anorex and his crew. In the present Voyager timeline, the accident happened, but the loss of Voyager fixed. Are you really bothering to explain this non-existent crap to me, dude? I'm gonna. Don't make me pull this show around and turn.
Okay, so while you're tapping on the brakes and turning around and hitting Fanty, everyone, please welcome CLS Studios. Good evening, CLS Studios.
Yeah, good to see you there, CLS. So yeah, dude, are you really trying to? I mean, gonna waste 7 posts talking about this crap? Man, dude, Fanty. I'm going to finish it, but boy, I'm about ready to, throw stuff at you. But you cannot give the garbage writers credit for. Now this is different, yeah. But you spent like 4 of these posts trying to explain this gobbledygook. Don't bother.
Duck, Fanty.
Credit for a concept, and they are too incompetent to articulate or explain this time of science fiction is best left to more capable hands. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Lee Anthony Davis. It is so nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Everyone, say hello to Lee Anthony Davis.
Okay, Lee Anthony, hello there. All right, let's see here. Where were I? So while they wanted it to look like a murder trillions, going timeline to timeline, isn't killing anyone in the universe. Didn't change the ship, moved into the different universe. Dude, really, you're all spending way too much time on this stuff. Oh my God. Dude, let's get this one out here. We're never getting away. This is the year of hell. This because talking about it is taking a year. I'm in a year of hell.
You want to know why? Because time travel pisses regular science fiction fans off. They go off. They just go off on this stuff.
I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't know. We got to get this episode done. I'm in hell with it. I hate it so much. Solid F's a Simply Steve. It was a hell of a trip. They used no script. Upchucked their ideas all over the ST universe. That's for sure. Somebody keeps sending me messages and everything. What am I? Okay, I can't take messages right now. Yes, indeed. Simply Steve, buddy. F+ indeed. Boy, I'm at my wits' end with this episode. And Simply Steve also said, I give a double dumbass on you, Brandon Braga. Fair enough. It's a fair cop, but society is to blame. Wagner also said, hello, everyone. My original review was in 16 parts, but I had to pare it down to just 7.
Thanks, Wag.
Thank you, Wags. 7 16 I would have probably sent it the show and said we're never reviewing Star Trek again. It's over. But Star Trek doesn't exist anymore. If anyone tries to pull a 16er on me, I'm going to invoke Clobby's law and say that's it. No more Star Trek reviews ever because Star Trek doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, but we're okay for now. Bubba Doom says C-. I'm torn. I like this episode. That's okay. It was okay. It was, however, bad Trek. Braga writes, Mrs. Columbo Lanky's trying to prove she's a badass. It makes her a bad captain. Kurtwood Smith was great.
Excellent.
I got you. And look, everyone can have different opinions and likes episodes. It's all fine and good. Don't listen to don't never shape your opinion on mine or number ones. Have your own.
Yeah,
we love
you have to have your own.
Gotta have your own, babies. Clobby, if I might put a twist on what you said, it was jackassery, perhaps even bragassery. Thank you, sir. Nice. Thank you, buddy.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oops, he says 3. Lol, I forgot to add in a sucker for schlock. I hear you. Well, you boy, there's plenty of schlock in this one. Then Jamalama says D-, saved from an F by Kurtwood. He is terrific. Yeah, I understand.
He is a good actor.
Love
he
the
does
guy.
a great job here.
Eli McInnes says, so are you saying this is all new Trek writers' favorite episode ever? I don't know. No, but for that, they would have to actually watch Trek at all, and none of them know anything about Star Trek.
This is true. This is true.
Princess Fiona says, I asked AI to write a version of this story that makes sense. It laughed at me and then called its AI friends over to also laugh at me. It said, if it had arms, it would pants me. I love it. After convincing the AI that I didn't write this mess, it was a real app on TV and everything. After a pause, my computer exploded. It chose not to exist rather than to be in a world with this show. F-. I love you, Fiona.
I love Fee too.
I know you're spoken for, but if you wouldn't mind marrying me, just think about it. Just think about it. You don't have to ever meet me or anything. It's not, just lie to me and say you will, and it would be fun.
Oh, so funny.
We love you, Fiona. You're fantastic. Zathras says, I think Braga was just phoning this one in. I wish someone would hung up on him. This one in as he was just trying to get into Seven's pants. F-, dumbass. Well, you know what? That's the only thing he wasn't a dumbass on because he made that happen. What that says for Jerry Ryan, we won't talk about. No. Tetrarch says, we may need a new emoji, a donkey wearing a dunce cap.
Ask and ye shall receive. I will work on that.
There you go.
How about Janeway with a dunce cap?
That Janeway with a dunce cap, and how about Brandon Braga with it?
Okay, I can do that. Let me write that down while you're reading. Keep reading.
No, at least Janeway for sure. That'd be good enough. But yeah. You guys are amazing, mini guys. So funny, you guys made my day. Oh, thank you, Anonymous Scan. We appreciate you, and it's very nice to have you hanging out with us. We appreciate you. He also said, I've never laughed so hard in my life because you guys are. Oh, well, thank you.
This person is a really cool guy.
We appreciate
really
you
cool.
so much. Yeah, absolutely, is this.
And
Jill,
good evening, Terry Rose.
Terry Rose?
Terry Rose just walks through the door and waved hello to everyone. Everyone, please say hello to Terry Rose.
Terry Rose, hello there. Welcome to Clobbering Times. Good to see you. And thank you, Jill. You're too kind. She gifted a Clobbering Times membership. Love you, Jill.
Sure did.
Thank you so much, my dear. Let's see who was Jamalama said, I was particularly annoyed by what I felt were setups in episode 1 without payoff and in 2. Like a mutiny that never happened. Not really. I feel like there was more of, a story that makes sense and matters. Okie dokie. And Eric K. the Great said, C. They were using triple shields. Nothing should have changed with them or the other ships attacking. Janeway thinks escape pods are warp capable. Dumb.
Yeah.
And the final review of the night, the great chief engineer who said, well, I consulted the greatest captain of them all to address the chief engineer about his review. And I was shocked at his response.
There's only one thing I want to say to you.
You're a dumbass.
Which I thought was not called for. So I don't endorse it at all. But he's the captain. So we end up. I'm the captain, but he's he's the greatest captain of all time. B- says the great Mark D with the sea. Some interesting concepts that should have been carried throughout Voyager. For example, the lack of resources, damage to the ship that can't be repaired, breakdown of the crew, traveling alone, lost in space. Warning, Robinson should have been more trying on ship and crew. The good Kurtwood Smith and dumbass. The bad Chakotay collaboration with Yahtzees. Neelix lives and the lack of lasting consequences. Writers wanted to show how a minor butterfly effect can cause someone to become an intergalactic murderer. Yeah, they did all right. Instead, we got Kang manipulating time and forcing Admiral Holdo to launch her ship into Babylon 5 at warp 10. One more time.
This is one here I'd like to forget.
Is because you're a dumbass.
Time's up.
Is because you're a dumbass. Is because you're a dumbass.
All right.
Okay, so before we release this stupid episode into the wild, Maddie's daddy, who is a very close friend with Clobby and all of us here, we love Steve M. He's saying that, he's an outlier here because he does make a consideration for, snapping his crayons, not his words, mine, when it comes to the fact that he would lose his mind if somebody did that to his daughter. I also want to welcome Herc 130, Hooby Dooby. Break with the tequila, baby. It's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Well, good to see you, buddy. Thank you. Welcome here. I'm not sure what he's referring to. Done what to who? To his daughter.
Oh no, just Steve was just saying, he in a small way he can identify with anoraks because he was saying that he would go insane and he wouldn't even be who he is normally if anyone ever tried to harm Maddie. He would snap his crayons, lose it,
Would any father, no matter how much they love their daughter, though, be willing to wipe out trillions and trillions of people from
hundreds of trillions?
Child?
I don't think so.
Even for their own child, no matter how much it hurts. Mm-hmm. That's a monstrous act. That
especially since he's the one who did it.
Yeah, he's nuts. All right.
Ooh, anyway, you got a gift from Eric.
Eric K, thank you so much, buddy. How many hundreds of years does this race live up?
Right.
I don't know, but we're off of this episode. I can't take it anymore.
Okay, let's get to the next one, folks.
All right, next episode, folks.
Let's press the gas. Random Thoughts, Season 4, Episode 10. If you're following along in the celebration or the companion, this is prod code 178. This first aired on November 19th, 1997. It's been that long, folks. We're old. And now let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'll be reading.
Steve, in his madness, he thinks he can restore everything, but he just took too long to learn, though. But anyway, go ahead.
True. Okay, so I'll be reading the summary from Wikipedia. The grammar will be atrocious. The composition will be mind-bogglingly bad, but we're just going to do it. So let's go. Saddle up, lock and load, folks. The Federation starship Voyager is orbiting the Mari homeworld, a race of telepaths. As the ship's crew trade for supplies, they find it difficult to haggle and bargain with the mind readers. While all of this is happening, Voyager's Vulcan security chief, Lieutenant Commander Tuvok, security chief, and the city's chief examiner, Namira, talk about security and maintaining order. Namira states that her job is slowly becoming obsolete with their methods of crime prevention. There has been no violence in their society for years, and she is one of the last security officers among the Mari. Sharing a curiosity regarding crime and punishment in their own society, Tuvok offers to transport her aboard Voyager to demonstrate their ways of security enforcement. While Janeway and her half-Klingon chief engineer B'Elanna Torres are negotiating for a resonator coil, someone bumps into B'Elanna momentarily irritating her. Oh, we wouldn't want to do that. She calms herself, shrugging it off as an accident. Moments later, they run over to find the man who bumped into Torres beating another man bloody. Okay, whoever wrote this sentence, you need to go in the agony booth on Ron Popeil's Set It and Forget It. That was just gobbledygook. Let's keep going. The beaten man is severely injured as Janeway stops the aggressor. The aggressor seems surprised at himself and says he does not know why he did that. While aboard Voyager, Namira is puzzled about the ship's brig and the concept of incarceration. Plot hole. As a form of punishment, only to be called back to the surface regarding the attack. After questioning the crew, Namira determines that B'Elanna's angry thought earlier that day was transmitted telepathically to the aggressor, and thus she is more guilty of the two. She is sentenced to undergo memory modification to remove the thought, as is the aggressor. Janeway protests as the modification process carries the risk of neurological damage. Before Janeway can unearth, because they know her anatomy, because she's human, huh? Plot hole. Janeway can unearth enough evidence to try and get Torres out. Another attack occurs with the same memory, indicating that it is still in circulation. No, indicating that it is in circulation, nincompoop, not that it's still in circulation. Unfortunately, this attack ends with an old woman plunging a knife into the body of an attractive young woman who Neelix has become enamored with. Disgusting! Tuvok goes undercover to find an illicit memory trade in which the salesman of the resonator coil is the key figure. He determines that B'Elanna's memory was goaded from her in order to be resold, but it was too violent for the illicit Mari tradesman to contain, and this caused the outburst among the Mari. Again, whoever wrote that, you need shin kicks. I don't advocate for violence, but you need shin kicks. Torres is released due to this new evidence just moments before her brain was about to be probed. Hey, you know who doesn't allow themselves to be probed? Klingons. Klingons don't allow themselves to be probed. Namira herself is shocked to find that all of her thoughts of violence have not disappeared from her people. Shocking. Later, at the end of the episode, 7 of 9 urges the captain not to visit these foreign worlds to avoid dangerous complications in the future. You mean Bangway? Insane way? Janeway, however, turns down her suggestion and remarks that Voyager was built for the purpose of human exploration and that the crew will continue to visit new worlds and take in new experiences because this was a part of the ship's mission. So that's all Wikipedia has to say about this shite episode. Captain, my captain, mon capitaine, please tell me, what did you think of random poop?
Brain and brain, what is brain?
There's actually a relief from the last episode. In other words, an episode where we can talk about where they have interesting ideas that they fail to execute, properly, rather than an absolute. Because I stand by what I said about that last episode. It did not deserve to make it past a waste space from basket. Just right in the dumpster. I thought some of the ideas of this episode, some of the premise were interesting and valid. Once again, for example, a planet of telepaths would be, and I think it's been established. They even talked about it in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I know it's a comedy, but it still would be a very difficult kind of place to exist, where people are reading each other's thoughts randomly. Nevertheless, the whole idea of the episode was not the problem. Execution.
Agreed.
It's
like you're reading my notes from Louisiana.
I actually kind of liked some of the interesting parts up until right around maybe like the first quarter of the episode, where, fair enough. We have her bumping into the guy, and we thought at first it was going to be some kind of an accident, that, in other words, this telepath bumping into a Klingon of all people has a violent thing in it, and then hits, attacks a dude, right? I'm really not having that too much of a problem with this point. And even when we get to the punishment part, however, when this woman tells Janeway that we can't even make any allowances for the fact that you're alien, you're not telepath, you don't understand. An accident kind of happened, and we'll just let it go because it's what about diplomacy on the part of these aliens who did invite Janeway and the crew? To be fair to Janeway and the crew, they did invite them down there. So, but then that kind of reason and logic, then you don't have a stupid story. So you got to you have to contrive a way to have a stupid story. And then they come up with this idiotic plot. I don't even mind the debate between what's her face, the woman and Tuvok, all about the imprisonment and all that crap. We had to concoct this plot of selling drugs. Oh, I'm sorry, violent thoughts. A black market for selling thoughts of this wonderful telepathic. So they thought they had this utopia going on when they're selling violence in the form of thoughts. I'm like, I don't know, that idea is pretty. They just didn't handle it well. I don't know what I'm saying other than I thought there was some nice ideas handled ridiculously. First of all, there's no way that supposedly these people would have really gotten that bent out of shape about B'Elanna. So they throw this scene later with the poor girl getting like slaughtered. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That as soon as that part happened, oh God, they had to go over the top with this. So I don't know what I'm saying other than the fact that this episode is a mess. It just goes to show that these writers are dumb asses.
True.
So go on with your notes. I got nothing else other than I think it's a shame because there was probably some nugget of an interesting idea here, and it's just really it's random crap because
there's a reason why you like the nugget of it, and it's because it comes from a couple of TNG episodes where we have these incredibly innocent beings, and then of course those TNG episodes were borrowed from the Apple, where we have this very innocent species. So, that's the nugget that everyone likes. And once again, folks always say to me, oh, like how do you not have all these episodes memorized and you should know the name of this and then all this. Look, if you actually imbibe the 735, you begin to realize just how centrifugal the content is. There is so much recycling in Star Trek after TOS. They borrow so much from TOS, and then there are echoes that just continue and continue and continue, and so it sucks all of the power and joy out of the episodes because they're borrowing from TOS, and then it becomes very derivative and then highly derivative. So I can see that. So let's get into the episode.
And my schlocky horror episode in a sense, yeah.
So let's get into the notes. First, we talk about Neelix and Kes. Then we talk about how Neelix smells. Ew. Then we talk about Neelix's sexual fetish of having his whiskers tugged. Ew.
Why that perfectly lovely woman wouldn't want anything to do with that?
No, but it's the fact that we talk about Neelix and Kes and their gushy, sick, gross feelings. Then how Neelix smells, like I don't care, like he probably smells like feet on his face. And then we talk about his sexual fetishes. This is the beginning of the episode. You can imagine how I feel, knowing how I feel about Chicken Man and the comedy guy who pretends he's an actor, although he's not. Sorry, Ethan, you just suck. There are so I have some random stuff written all over the page. How come there is no briefing on the behavior expected on this planet? This is very un-Starfleet. In Starfleet, there would be a briefing on the behavior. Why would Tuvok tell the chief of security on the planet where the transporter area is? So he walks right over to her and says, "Would you like to come aboard, Voyager? Our transporter area is over here." And meanwhile, she was probably the one who assigned that transporter area. So more dumb dialogue. This is dumb Voyager dialogue. It's really hard to watch this, especially if you're watching a Blake 7 at the same time, because Terry Nation's dialogue is like so beautiful and so it's just so good. And then the dialogue here just sucks. The planet's security chief is bewildered by the concept of incarceration, calling it barbaric. But Tom later announces that B'Elanna is in jail. She's been incarcerated on the planet. So once again, we have this really, really poor writing by Kenneth Biller or Byler, however he wants to pronounce that. But it's also important for folks to realize that on a television show where you have to crank out lots of content, and you have an author who's trying to come up with these short stories and turn them into teleplays, or cultivating ideas thrown out in the writer's room and turning it into a teleplay, there should be a team of people here helping. So, Jerry Taylor's not getting away with it as far as I'm concerned. Neither is Brandon Braga or anyone else involved with the production of this show. This author needs support, and you have to go in there and you have to vet and check the continuity and help them along. So this isn't just a failure of the writing. This is a failure of the editing and production of the show. A thought crime is a very interesting idea, but if 149 crew members have been down to the surface so that they can get a little R&R, interacting with people for several days, enough for Neelix to start, thinking about his sexual fetishes, it's hard to believe that B'Elanna would be the first and only offensive or unsavory thinker. Unpleasant thoughts. Like the chief of security not reading Tuvok's suppressed urges. So if that chief of security is able to read minds, she would instantly recognize that Tuvok comes from an extremely violent race where it requires meditation to become logical and to purge and control those thoughts and feelings. So it's not just the fact that 149 crew members are already on the planet, and they're all what? Babes, innocent babes. I mean, even toddlers steal candy from one another. So this is totally unbelievable. It's complete and utter shite. Tuvok is a Vulcan. He has greater strength than these beings. At no time are we told that these humanoids have great strength. So his struggle is perplexing. He's even thrown to the ground like it's, some sort of wrestling match, and it's weird. Where it gets super weird, where it's like so weird that you're saying to yourself, we need to shut this off because this is too dumb, is when the guy's buddies hold him still while Tuvok nearly kills him, including when the guy's eyes roll into the back of his head, he's clutching his throat, and he's begging Tuvok to stop. You can clearly see that his buddy's hands are on him, holding him in place so that Tuvok can do this to him. Meanwhile, just a few minutes earlier, they laid a shit kicking on Tuvok and subdued him so that this transaction could take place. So that's another thing that doesn't make sense. And that has nothing to do with Kenneth Byler or Biller. That has something to do with this failed editorial production team. This is an idea borrowed from TOS, the Apple, and from TNG. Whenever you're discussing all of those innocent planets and those innocent species with these incredibly harsh punishments. So there's nothing new here. This is more recycled content. There's a nugget of a great idea here, but it is owed to TOS. It is owed to a TNG for expanding on it by this idea of thought crime with severe punishments. But once again, it's all owed to TOS and the Holy Trinity for this idea in the Apple. And the rest of this sucks. It's dumb.
There you go. Well, what do you? Let's go ahead and let's burn this sucker quick.
D+.
What is D+? Yeah, there you go. I think I'm sitting at a D as well, or a D for sure. Yeah, just I don't really care. I mean, it was a poop in the wind, basically.
All is crap in the wind.
So everybody, please, if you would come forward with your review and any ranking you may have of random thobbits, and I will bring us some Max Redstone entertainment. So here we go. All right. Random thoughts by Max Redstone. B'Elanna has a moment of rage amongst people who treat anger like phage. A Tuvok mind meld, ire must be dispelled to prevent an outbreak of contagious outrage. Ah, nicely done, Maximum. Way to go, Kimasabi. The great Max Redstone does it again. All right, let's see if we get these reviews knocked out in short order. Let's work this puppy. Simply Steve says F grade alt title random ass thoughts. Ah, good one. And showed the writers couldn't write the ship with even the most basic of plots. Also nauseating Neelix nuggets, his scent of a Talaxian, and his sex fetish too. Ugh, I hear you, dude. Ugh, God. Why, God, why? Quack, no.
You now just think about his feet.
No, you think about his feet. I don't want to. In fact, don't get Mark D on the feet thing. We all know what we had to do to him last time. Don't even think about it, dude. Oh, here we go. Now he's going to do it. Thanks a lot, number one. Grade F from Guagnar. He said it took me over 2 weeks to watch this episode. Oh, you guys are the best. I love you guys. You're the best.
Gosh, you just made me cry.
I kept getting interrupted with more interesting things like throwing out the garbage and shopping for toothpaste. At the end of the episode, Insane Way basically confirms to Seven that she gets enjoyment by putting her crew in danger. It thinks the death of members of the crew are acceptable consequences. Exactly. Oh, God. Yeah, that's true. Oh, man. If I were on that planet, I would buy me like some violent images of people beating the writers of the show up. Kidding, everybody. This has been 30-something years ago.
When Tuvok chokes Neelix. I want that thought. Why didn't they bring that to the surface again?
That would have been a big seller in the random thought drug world, right?
Oh, Pop has to leave. Pop. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night, Pop. Good night, sir. Shooter says D. Neelix smell sounds about right. Telepaths again? Vulcans are telepathic now. I know. Yeah, when he was thinking, I said, "What is he, a Betazoid?" I know about mind melds, but this is a new one. Yep, he's the only time a Vulcan ever did that. Like you could hear him like thinking back and forth with that woman. So that was stupid.
Well, Spock does convene with V'ger, but it's more like Vulcans throw their thoughts. But
he mind melded with V'ger.
Yeah, it has to, and yes, anyway, yes, you guys are right. They play it out like it's Betazoid. Or
it was like a Betazoid thing, like when Waxana or Deanna are speaking with their minds, all fine and good. I don't remember a Vulcan ever doing that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But shouldn't Starfleet learn the laws of a culture before casually interacting with them? There's a really good point, Shooter.
Yeah,
they should know about that kind of crap. They know they're telepaths. They knew
where's their
briefing? They were telepaths, but to avoid wrecking situations like this, or Wesley stepping on flowers. Seven made a valid point. She often does. Yeah. So let's see. Let's see.
I really need to cut that scene of me blowing up Wesley so that you have just that as your clip.
I need to find. I don't have it anymore.
I'll get it for you again. I have it somewhere on my computer.
You would think a species that evolved telepathy of this scale would not require vocal communication and be inadept at using it, as well as having developed a natural strength against others' thoughts and influencing them. The idea, while interesting, makes no logical sense. Yep. Yes, sir, Michael Beacom says C. Based on an interesting premise, but yet again, slipshod execution. I feel like I am watching a ship's log entry introduced as evidence into insane ways court-martial, forgetting to brief the away team that thoughts can be criminal here. Fail. The Black Thought market was ripped off from the 1995 film Strange Days, which did it way better. Hell, the entire thing was covered in. Hang on.
Emperor's NM just walked through the door. Emperor's NM,
Hey!
It's so nice to see you.
Empress, what's up? Good to see you, my friend. Okay, where were I? Empress. Oh, gotcha. Mad Magazine Star Trek musical where they have Spock expressing that his idic with humans reveals all they think about his sex and making out in space. Try again, fellas. Yes, sir. Thank you, Michael. Maximum Redstone says D minus. This episode explores the two novel concepts, a seemingly pacified world of telepaths and a black market in which thoughts themselves are commoditized. I'm an idiot. It just goes to crap from the start. Neelix, Musk, and Whispers. Oh, God. Whiskers. These people are weak snowflakes. They should not be interacting with the wider world, and outsiders should be permanently banned.
And they play him off as being so innocent here, but let's remember that Neelix is a drug dealer. And he is actually a drug dealer who ran away from a big drug deal and left his buddy to take the rap for it. Not to mention the fact that he ran away from children who he was supposed to rescue when he was in the military. So he's a deserter and a coward. So it's like they try and play him off like he needs some advice from Tom Paris for how to date women. The guy's a complete scumbag.
Thank you.
Stephen S.
I want to go. Who?
Stephen S.
Stephen S. is here.
Hey,
Stephen S.
Fine, sir.
Good to see you, Stephen S. All right. Welcome, bud. I want to go to this planet just because I think it would be hilarious to turn a planet from paradise to full-out Grand Theft Auto chaos using nothing more than my thoughts. Well, Max, go for it. I wouldn't blame you one bit. I've got number 2 for Michael Bacon. What's his number 1 at?
Let me go check.
2 was 10:15 your time.
15?
Yeah, that was 2 though.
Yeah, let me go find it. The chat's acting weird tonight. It burped a couple of times. I hate it when it burped.
I'm gonna
you
go
got his 3 of 3?
No, I see 2.
You got Michael Beacom. Hold on. There's his 3 of 3. Hold on.
You got his 3? Okay.
There's his 2 of 3. And where's his 1 of 3?
Can't find 1. While you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead.
I got it. Found it.
Okay. Michael Beacom says C. Oh, I did that one. That's right.
Yeah. Now you got to do 2.
Cool. Oh, did I do all of his and just didn't get rid of them? Yes, I did. I did Michael Beacom and already forgot. Sorry, Michael. I'm an imbecile. I should have got. I thought I torched. Unless they got.
You were also at a convention all day.
No. I torched them and they were up there again. Okay. I have no idea how.
Okay.
I remember. That's why I thought I hadn't done them because, well, first of all, I have a horrible short-term memory, as far as I know. But yes, I did them and got rid of them, like unstarred them, so they wouldn't be in the way. But there were duplicates. I don't get that at all. But I did do those. Michael, I'm sure Michael. Even if we don't, Michael does remember.
That's okay, honey.
If he's listening, if he's still here. Enigmatic Drop Bear says D. Hang on a second. It says D. There was the kernel of a good story here, but it lost itself in a sloppy and muddled Orwellian-themed allegory and prohibition and anti-hate speech or enforced conformity, etc. All right. That a closed society would allow outsiders to roam so freely is contrary to the themes of the episode, then goes on to explore. It
Agreed.
is simply unbelievable. Absolutely. That's
And
a
they
big
lose me
problem.
there.
Big time.
Yeah.
A number of plot lines don't go anywhere or lose focus, like Tom's and Chipotle's planned rescue or the exploration of Torres' emotions. Instead, it becomes about blackmail and conspiracy. Yeah, it really was a weird turn. There's even a weird place of exposition by by Seven, presenting the attempted moral of the moral of the story. Right? Was this some sort of capitulation by the writers acknowledging that their story was all over the map? You never know. You never know, buddy. It could be. Sandra says D. The idea that a telepathic, stagnant society would want stimulation and new ideas is far from new. There are good and bad ways of exploring the concept. This was not one of the good ones. I hear you there. Shooter said, additional, the seven quote was about going into an alien civilization without any research into their culture and laws. Yes, yes, yes. The great Eric K says, DD. Only thing I can say is this was too predictable. Telepath and Bellona angry. I knew she would be on trial. Neelix wanted to get some melons or DDs. I am convinced a Binor could be up to back.
I know. Eric, I love you.
You rock, dude.
That was a scathing review.
Sorry, I had to have some water.
That's okay, sweetheart.
Burp. Zathras says F. B'Elanna told the captain she would not respond with violence. B'Elanna then sent a communication to the board, the coordinates of this planet, and tell them they found stable omega particles. Payback. Wow. I missed that part of the episode. Wow, cool. Babadoom one says D to C minus. Okay. This episode is derivative of the work of better writers. Weak T. I still miss Tuvix. The addition of Tuvix would have improved this episode greatly. The C minus is enjoyed via the lack of Kess. Well, that's pretty much almost every
episode.
Wow, that bad, huh? Banty says D. In a telepath society, they would definitely be able to screen other thoughts, even other telepaths. Otherwise, their entire lives, I think, would be living in a crowded room and having all the thoughts of those around you crowd in its nonsense. Imagine if you did the Pike thing. Can you read my mind, Telosian? Images of hate, so intense, crowd of them fainting. Yes, I would like that. Lisa says D. Poor Neelix can't seem to catch a whisker pole while shopping for melons. While Tuvok had an erotic exchange down a dark alley to nail the true culprit. Just not a fave, and no thoughts can change it. Good. I hear you there. Professor R2 says, I generally hate telepath episodes, and this one is no exception. The story was supposed to be a metaphor for the spread of violent video games and entertainment, and at that, it fails completely. D. Thank you, Professor R2. Appreciate you. Value of nothing. Gives it a D. You would think after TNG's Justice, they would know better. Good pernt. Good pernt, my friend. RRTNZ.
Well, they did give them more clothes this time around.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's a good thing. They had a lot of hot chicks in that. Justice.
Yeah, but Justice totally ripped off the Apple because it looks so similar. You know what I mean? They all look like they're wearing like paper lingerie.
Yep, but Apple's actually a good story. That wasn't. Well, actually, Justice was an interesting story. But we reviewed it at the time. It was a mess. My review, says RTZ. Well, I'd pay not to know what Torres is thinking. I give this one a C for being decent in concept but mediocre in execution.
That's a fair comment.
Thank you, RR.
Everyone, please say goodnight to Zathras. He's out. He says, night all. Zathras out. Zathras out. And I'll just say now for you, honey, because I love you and I know you love to hear it. Crap, crap, crap.
Good night, Zath. Anti-derivative Joe are wonderful. Communications officer says F. The Mari are a fantastic example of a one-dimensional aliens dealing. Yes, true. Of one-dimensional aliens dealing too loosely with cool ideas like thought crime and drug use allegories. Good point, Julie. I thought it was rather cheap that they went on about not imprisoning people and then shouted to lock up Balana. Also, how is lobotomy better than prison? This is like Justice from TNG. Yes, is similar. I know the emotions that Vulcans suppress are stronger and more dangerous than ours, but I didn't enjoy how much the episode seemed to insinuate how violent Tuvok would be if he couldn't. I think couldn't control his emotions. Yeah. If I were Janeway, I'd have grabbed Torres and left. They can get supplies from anywhere else. Well, that's something I think as well, Jill. I'm like, look, they didn't know what was happening. That planet should have said, all right, well, don't let it happen again. We'll let you leave because you didn't know any better, but then you wouldn't have a story.
Yeah, and speaking to those visions, because Jill is a deep diver like we are, I would just like to say that I also I hate watching this episode on rewatch because I'm always reminded of the fact that the creepy guy is the one who gives Tuvok the images of the Doberman. And there would be no way, no how, no sir, that guy would have an image of a Doberman to give to Tuvok in that exchange of violence. Oh, yeah. And I also, like I said, like a lot of people call out the writing here. It's not just the corporate writers' room. There aren't, first of all, the mechanism is broken. There are no short stories, but it's not just the writers' room. This is the editing, the production. And if Block is to believe, Paula M. Block is to be believed, I believe it is her. Jerry Taylor was supposed to be covering their asses, so to speak. And clearly none of that's going on here. I would also like to say goodnight to Jamalama. He says, I'm out of here. He says, love to all. Jamalama, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We will see you next week on Saturday Night Star
Have a great night, my friend. Thank you so much. All right, let's turn to move this one along. Kia, Anonymous Gamer, says, I've seen some of these, but most of them I haven't seen in a while. I'm just going to listen and reserve my judgment on episodes I'm not familiar with. That's a fair cop. Thank you. The great Scuba Pete says, F, sung like Aretha. You better think what you're trying to present to me. It's gonna stink. Kenneth Bell, you're killing me. F, nice, buddy.
That is the professor of pun right there. Right. The great Scuba Pete.
Mark D with a C. Let's get this. Let's close this puppy up and get rid of it. Mark D with a C. The chief engineer says C minus. Another episode with a good sci-fi premise that fails in its execution. Thought crimes are an interesting idea to explore, but there are too many plot holes and inconsistencies. Since when can Vulcans communicate telepathically without a mind melt? You got me. Unfortunately, I think that poor girl might be better off spared from Neelix. Yeah, that was
gross.
Another question never answered. Do they have casinos? I wouldn't want to play Royal Fizbin on that planet.
Mark.
Gary Taylor is far too slight a woman to cover this much arse.
I thought that was a great line. I mean, Max. That was a great
line. Max, you rock. Okay.
Raquel, I think Clobby missed my review fee.
I didn't see it.
What the heck?
Oh.
Let me go back.
Well, let's find it. Did you have?
No, she better not have got.
How
she
many
didn't get zapped.
How many were there? I'm sorry. I wondered. I wondered if you had a review, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's weird. I saw her speaking with Bubba Doom. She was talking with Bubba Doom, but I don't have anything other than her talking to Bubba Doom. Hold on, darling. Let me go.
We're tracking it now. We're looking.
My fellow Irish woman, I would not leave you out. You are quite intelligent and wonderful. I would never do that. Where the heck is Fee? I don't see her.
Very
strange.
We're backtracking now, both of us, in fact.
Did she use a naughty word? I don't think so. And that's her talking to Shooter. See, I have her talking to Shooter and Bubba Doom, but I don't have anything else.
You can send it to me on the Twitwats, just in case.
Yeah. No, she's not here, boss. I'm telling you here.
It's not here, Fiona.
No. Even at 11 minutes past the hour, she's still talking to Bubba. She's got nothing up here. And I think she got vaped. You got vaporized.
Yeah, backtracking also. I don't see it.
Oh, yeah. Fee says, speaking of the Apple, rest in peace, David Soul. Yes.
No.
Rest in peace, David Soul.
She said she just reposted. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, David Soul. She said she's in Twitter jail.
Weird.
Right up there. She said reposted right up there. Where?
I don't know. Let me go look. I have to scroll all the way down now.
I don't see it.
It's not here.
I still don't see it, Fee.
She's in trouble here, and guys, everyone help. We can't see Fee.
I'm looking at the chat outside on YouTube. I was looking at it on StreamYards. Maybe StreamYards can't see it for some reason.
Value of Nothing can't see it either. No one can. So it's not just on our side of StreamYards. It's on the viewer's side as well.
Huh.
And Bubba Doom can't see it. Neither can Mark. And Scuba Pete's reporting nothing in the chat. Eric said, Fee, send it via Twitter.
She's in Twitter jail. She can't do it.
Oh, crap.
You can send it to my you can send it to me by email. My email address is in the description below.
Yeah. The Crenham zapped it. I'm with Gwag on this one. The Crenham did it. Anorax. That damn Anorax.
Where's my email address should be in there? Where's so stupid? I thought my email address was in this mother. Oh, there it is, yeah.
Anonymous Gamer, this part of Voyager is 1997.
Here's my email address if you don't have that yet.
Weird. Yeah. Bubba Doom, I agree. I think she got nuked by the Thought Police.
Weird.
Thank you, everyone. Everyone who is helping in the chat. I love you all so much. Thank you for being such a wonderful community of friends.
Yeah, appreciate you all. But I put my email address. Anybody can email it there anytime. Fiona, if you want to send it to that.
Value of Nothing. Ironic, yes. The Thought Police.
Yeah. That's strange. And we will gladly
Should we keep going?
Oh, do I have more? I don't have any more, do I?
I think that's it, boss.
Yeah, so we'll wait. If Fiona
You want to wait? Okay.
I'll wait. What her judgment is, if she wants to send it again, I'm more than happy to wait for her. Just tell us one way or the other, Fee. We passed the first time.
Yeah, everyone can smell the Edgar Allan Poe level of irony here.
I'm good. Yet Fiona's chat says,
yeah.
If she's gonna send it to me, yeah, that's I don't know. I don't get it. That's crazy, Fee.
Weird.
Freaking
weird. And I saved this. Where is it? We're waiting for Fee.
So,
Greg sent me something funny.
did he?
Yeah,
well, I
he
guess.
did.
Oh, he emailed it. Okay, listen, she emailed it. Just gonna wait for it to show up in the email.
I'm just gonna mute myself so you guys can't hear me clickety click click clicking.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Come on, emails going slow. I guess. I don't know. Keep refreshing. Let's try again. Still nothing on the email. I'll keep refreshing it. We're gonna get started, and as soon as it shows up, Fee, I will be glad to read it. And if you want to put your other one for the next one on there, it's more. Feel free. But I don't know why this thing's not showing up. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Went to spam. I hate the stupid things. I got it now. Okay. I think I know why it got zapped, she says. Number one, Claudette was right. It is all the execution. Not enough of the writers were but you wrote writers instead of writers, were executed. Star Trek poopy thoughts. F plus. Well, that could be it. But Fee, yeah, thank you. By the way, for some reason, I'll double check my spam. It doesn't usually happen with spam, but it's weird. It's good to check your spam folders, where these stupid Yahoo is sometimes.
Emperor's NM says that Princess Spam is the best spam.
Yeah. So I got it finally, Fee. Thank you so much. And you can email anytime.
You ready?
Turing Machine's here.
Hey, Turing, nice to see you.
Yes,
Should we get with Concerning Flight?
Yeah, let's go. Next episode, folks, is, in fact, Concerning Flight. There we go.
This is season 4, episode 11. If you're following along in the companion or the celebration, this is production code 179. This episode first aired on November 26th, 1997. Yeah, we're all that old. And here we go with the summary, a courtesy of the folks at Wikipedia. It's probably going to suck. Settle up, lock and load. An enemy uses a high-energy transporter beam to steal items of technological value from Voyager, including the computer core and the Doctor's mobile holo-emitter. Captain Janeway and the crew track the stolen goods to an alien world that is an active center of commerce. As Tuvok and Janeway beam down to search, Tuvok locates an item with a Starfleet signature, a holographic Leonardo da Vinci from Janeway's Florence holodeck program, who was downloaded into the emitter. His program is designed to only think in 16th century terms, so he is astounded at the technology. You mean by the technology? Leonardo speaks of his patron who provides him with everything he needs. Back on Voyager, Chakotay interrogates one of the traders and learns that a man named Tau sells weapons and technology he confiscates from passing ships. So confiscates? Like by a dictionary, that's not the proper word to use there. As it turns out, Tau is Leonardo's patron. Janeway has the inventor bring her to one of Tau's parties, posing as a buyer, where Tau reveals that he has Voyager's computer core for sale. Armed with Leonardo's accurate topographical maps of the region, Tuvok and 7 of 9 locate the storage facility where the processor is kept, but a dispersion field around it makes transport impossible. Janeway will have to infiltrate the facility and initiate a power surge that will produce a strong enough signal for the transporter beam to lock on. Unfortunately, Tau overhears Janeway talking to the ship and trains a weapon on her. Leonardo knocks out Tau, and then he and Janeway flee for the facility. Once they find the processor, Janeway successfully executes Tuvok's plan, but the arrival of an armed guard prevents the pair from beaming up with the computer. Leonardo is shocked, but being a hologram, he's unhurt, though he cannot comprehend how. Janeway knocks out the guard and eventually explains to Leonardo that the world is filled with things beyond comprehension, and that it is a poor student that does not eventually surpass their master. Okay. Can you not write like you're in kindergarten? First of all, it's who. This person isn't a lamp. Who? Use who? And what the hell? I just seriously, agony booth plus a Klingon suppository. Janeway and Leonardo deduce that more armed guards will be on the way. Instead of transporting back to the ship, they use their site-to-site transporter and beam themselves a good distance away into the countryside. They board a fixed-wing glider constructed by Leonardo and take off just as Tau's guards open fire. Finally, Voyager is able to get close enough to the planet to beam aboard the captain and her mentor. And that is all this shite has to say about concerning shite. Captain, my captain, mon capitaine, please tell me, what did you think of concerning shite?
Well, I guess I can't go along with you on that. I don't think this episode is shite. I think they're writing maybe with that synopsis, but I thought the episode was silly fun. I don't know. I don't mind it too much. I mean, well, I do have one big question, though. Or I do have one concern. I'm sorry. Was that a bad pun? Concerning the episode. Yeah, whatever. It didn't seem like all that much time had passed between when the theft occurs and of all the stuff from Voyager, right? To when they find it on that conveniently find it on that planet, right? Well, but when she meets, Leonardo on the planet, when they find him, he's talking like it's been years. Like he's made this ambassador, this new friend, the guy who stole everything, basically, whoever the dude's name was. In other words, he's been with the guy forever.
A glider,
huh?
And he constructed a glider.
Right, he did. So in other words, it would seem like he'd been there a long time, but it just seemed there'd only been like a couple of hours or days or whatever, maybe. Mm-hmm. That the theft took place. But be that as it may, John Rhys Davies is terrific. He's a lot of fun.
He's wonderful.
It's like a holodeck episode that doesn't take place on the holodeck, which is weird, but interesting. Plot was pretty simple. This was done for silly, fanciful holodeck type stuff. So you could have Janeway having an adventure with her hero, Leonardo da Vinci. Now, the one thing I don't get is how she said James T. Kirk claimed to meet him once. I must have missed that time travel episode. Doctor Who did meet him, but I don't remember Kirk ever saying he met him. But what do I know? Did he? Did Kirk ever meet da Vinci?
I don't believe so. Not even. Yeah,
unless in a book, maybe. But I mean, obviously that wouldn't count now, would it?
Well, he would have brushed up against his work in Trelane's mansion, but
it was an amusing but a little slightly weird line. I don't take anything in the episode seriously. It was goofy, silly, fun, but she, me, I'm not I guess if I were a bigger Janeway fan, I'd be more excited about it. No matter, for example, Savage Curtain is pretty ridiculous too. But some of the stuff between Kirk and Lincoln is irresistible to me. I know I shouldn't. I guess we probably talked about it back when we reviewed that episode. Mm-hmm. That as dumb as it was, I kind of like the Kirk and Lincoln stuff in it. Sue me. It's not doesn't make any sense. But I like this. He is a hologram. He doesn't know that. He's got the mobile emitter. So all that, while preposterous, does sort of work. It's just that the whole story is pretty ludicrous, and yet it's a fun romp. It's supposed to be. And if I liked her better, maybe the episode would have been more enjoyable. But I kind of liked him. I really do like John Rhys Davies. I saw him today, by the way. I didn't get to talk to him. He was there. And of course, he's a great actor. And I just don't, I guess after all the crap and crud we've been seeing, actually sort of a fun, lighthearted episode where they do stupid shit like fly the glider thing at the end, which was dumb, but I don't know. I guess this doesn't bother me. I'd rather have dumb, silly. If you can't do serious, good science fiction, if you could do something goofy, fun, I'm okay. So you guys could rag the hell out of the episode. I'm just going I don't really have a strong feeling of it, to be honest with you. Requiem for Methuselah. I do like Requiem for Methuselah, though. A Requiem for Amethuselah? What the hell?
Well, of course, yeah. I totally agree. But the problem for me is that Voyager works without its CPU, its central processing unit. So it's computer processor, right?
Because they took the computer, right? They took the computer core.
Yeah.
So how was it working?
Yeah, and it's important for folks to remember that without its CPU, Voyager wouldn't be business as usual, and it's definitely business as usual. So in layperson's terms, you can think of a CPU as the brain of Voyager, and so it's the thing that carries out all tasks. So the CPU tells components what to do, right? And that would be all tasks, program functions, computation of data, management and coordination of the ship's activity, memory, peripherals, output. All systems and processors are subordinate to that CPU. So it should not be business as usual on Voyager. So the fact that they took the central computer, they took the computer processor out of Voyager, and then just everything was normal, was completely insane to me.
By the way, thank you, Fiona. You're right. I forgot about Requiem for Methuselah.
Yeah. Trelane, right? Trelane facilitated.
No, not Trelane. No, Methuselah.
Oh yeah, Methuselah. Yeah.
He claimed to be. Did he claim to be? I know he was Brahms. Did he claim to be Da Vinci?
I believe he claimed to be all of them, right?
There's some, So,
anyways, so
okay.
So for me, I just can't with this because everything should be dark. Also, I don't understand how they were able to just beam this stuff off the ship. So once again, it's like they're selling incompetence. So 100%. As a communications and technology scholar and a former web developer and web designer, I just can't. Would you tell me that you took the computer out of Voyager and everything's fine? West Kegel, how's it going?
West, hey.
So basically they took the brain out of the computer and because they took the brain out of the computer and they took the brain out of the ship. Brain. What is brain?
Brain. You got the notes?
Yeah.
Those notes?
I don't have any notes. It's just that.
Okay.
I can't accept this as a viable episode because I don't care that it's 1997. I mean, I had Windows in 1997. I had Windows in 1995. I mean, people should know that you can't take the brain out of a computer. You can't take the computer processor out of the ship and everything is working fine. So I can't. And it doesn't matter how much of a great time I'm having with the episode. The whole time we just keep going back to Voyager and it's business as usual. I'm screaming and throwing things at the TV. So no.
Thing is about that Fiona is like she would have known him as Flint, but she didn't. But we don't know that Picard even reported what happened on that planet with Flint and told everyone who Flint was. We don't know that he didn't either. So no, it's a good point. But the way she made it sound was kind of James Kirk even claimed he met him once. Well, if after that episode, Kirk and Spock made a full report about who Flint was all these centuries, then Janeway wouldn't. You're exactly right. She would know him as Flint. They would still know about Leonardo da Vinci, of course, but I don't know. She would know who Flint was, and she didn't say that. So, oops and oops.
Yeah, it's crappy writing. I mean, we can all try and make excuses for it, but it's just crap. And not even understanding the basic way that a computer works. It doesn't work. That for me, they should be having an incredibly difficult time managing Voyager without its brain, without its main computer. I believe those are I believe those are the words they use. And it's obvious these aren't technical people, but you can't remove a CPU, a central processing unit, or a main computer from a ship and have it work. Whether you want to use the word main computer or if you want to pretend like it's a computer processor or the main CPU, the ship shouldn't work, and I just can't get over it. No matter how fun it is.
All right, we're making good time. So your rating? Let's get our rating
It's a
together.
D.
It's a D. I give it a C. I'm just I don't know. I'm just an old softy when it comes to this one, I guess. Actually, to be honest with you, I know I saw it before. I've never when it was brand new to me because when I watched it again, I know I'd seen it because I watched them all at one point, but I remembered zero about it. And now in about a week, I'll probably remember zero about it again. So. Anyway, but I thought it was okay. But then here we go. So everyone, while number one is saving those, let's see what Mr. Max Redstone has for us. Okay. Concerning flight by the great Max Redstone. Here we go. Greasy aliens that get quite pinchy in a world of the stolen and chintzy. All right, this is going. Admits the grass and the leaves, Janeway and Tuvok, like thieves, aided and abetted by Leonardo da Vinci. Thank you, Max Redstone. Well done, buddy. All righty then, here we go. Max Redstone says C+. Janeway gets wet with Leonardo da Vinci. It's fun, silly willy. The least worst episode of the evening. There be whales here. I'm with you. It didn't bother me much, but number one just adored it not. Baba Doom says A+. For no other reason, everything John Rhys Davies touches is elevated. That I'm with you there. He's great. He is great in everything he does. Indy. Except that piece of garbage Indy 5, which no one can save. I was disgraced that he was in that one. But I even love his voice as Thor. God of Thunder. He's absolutely magnificent in everything he does, John Rhys Davies. I should read your review like this, A+, for no other reason. Everything John Rhys Davies, touches is elevated. I've been a fan long of myself before LOTR. He will forever be Rodriguez. Y'all go watch King Solomon's Mines. Him and Chamberlain reunite. Thank you so much. Sorry, I love that guy. All right. Enigmatic Drop Bear. It said D. Pirates steal from Voyager a bunch of systems, its database, the holo emitter, and a hologram of a 15th century inventor from Earth. They employ the hologram as an inventor. Ridiculous. Yes. That was everything about the episode is ridiculous. Everything's ridiculous in the episode. I don't think you're going to find anyone that says the episode is not ridiculous. Well, that would be a ridiculous thing to do, wouldn't it? And no worries, even without these critical systems, Voyager is still able to find the parts and the pirates.
Yeah,
it's a good thing Voyager is coated in ablative plot armor. Is it ablative?
Yeah.
Ablative, I like that. I like that.
Good evening, Canadian Spider-Man. It's nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
What's up, dude? Did you know that he does whatever a Canadian spider can?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what they can do. A parachute is needed to survive the leaps in logic in this story. You think? Not only does Holo da Vinci fashion a hang glider out of a duranium alloy, but he conveniently leaves it on a hill ready to go. Yup. Fair. Cool. Those final scenes reminded me of Klinger and his hand glider from MASH. I love that. But a big blue bird with a big blue bird with fuzzy pink feet. I wish they had given Da Vinci goofy goggles and pink slippers. That would yep. Oh, good Lord. That would have been an appropriate way to end this one. The Enigmatic. I love that episode of MASH. Thank you, buddy. Let's see. Enigmatic Jill, it is. Jill says, Jill is enigmatic.
It's okay. It's getting late, honey. Don't worry about it.
Oh, boy. C+ for Jill says, I appreciated that this episode zeroed in on the fact that Da Vinci was ahead of his time, and most of what held him back was the materials he didn't have access to. However, beyond that, we have the issue where we are encountering yet another sentient hologram. This must be a more common occurrence than we're led to believe, which is strange. As much as I love seeing Davis and Da Vinci, what did he really do other than have engaging dialogue with Janeway? It seemed like the doctor needed it. The doctor needed it more than Janeway needed.
Yeah, it's weird.
Da Vinci. Well,
Yeah,
that's true for sure. Yeah.
It's weird.
Weird stuff. As superfluous.
It just jumped when I was starring. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I hate it when it does that.
Me too. But we're good. We'll live it though. We'll live through it. As superfluous, an episode as this is, I still enjoyed seeing his craft take a flight, but it was a little convenient that it was parked right where Janeway transports from the warehouse. Yeah. With all the focus on Da Vinci, it seems like the villain was just there to somehow bypass shielding, to steal at the beginning and get knocked out at the end. No character development, that's for sure. Fair one. Thank you so much, Jill. Is that get all of Jill? I think so. Fiona says, I give them credit for making what is essentially a holodeck episode in a more interesting way, but you can't run anyone on the ship without the core. Yep. They could have gotten around this easily. Let's see. Just have the ship's backups that were stolen. They would have had all of the information, but left Voyager whole, and Voyager would have to retrieve the backups from the Prime Directive. But that would require creativity. Also, it's not canon, but there's several trick stories about Flint coming back and joining humanity. He would at least have been in the Starfleet logs as Kirk would have.
I totally forgot about Flint. Like
I
wasn't thinking about the painter. But yeah, like Spock does say that looks like Da Vinci, and this looks like it's Brahms.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
When we reviewed it, we were like, it was one. I mean, I think you liked it. I liked that episode of the Requiem for Methuselah, but I totally forgot about it too. So
yeah, I totally forgot.
Both of us are just gonna get shin kicks and get
yeah. We need to go in the agony booth.
We're both.
Your agonizer, please.
Both guilty because when I watched it the other night, yeah. So, but with our crew, somebody's always going to know it.
Yeah.
And I used to think I knew things about Trek. I guess know nothing anymore. Done his duty and made a full report. I guess. Yeah. Well, I guess since we'll never know whether he did make the report or not, we'll never know. So yeah, but I mean, it would make sense for him to make the report. But then again, he didn't report that Zephyr Cochrane was still alive. But anyway.
Yeah, he didn't report that either.
He was asked not to. So I don't know if Flint never didn't ask him. I don't know.
Well, after he joined with the entity,
Well, before that, even though Cochrane said, "Captain, don't tell them about me."
Yeah,
now again, we don't know, but Flint didn't say that, so that we know of.
No.
Still, I didn't hate the episode. It had a brilliant quote in it. More importantly, it didn't hate me. JDR, John Rice Davis, yes. Miss Always is always awesome, yes. A C, which is a Voyager B plus. Thank you so much for
I
yeah,
like that
yeah,
qualification. It's a C, but a
yeah,
Voyager B plus. So good
yeah,
for Voyager, but
yeah.
barely passing for Star Trek.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
get you.
it's about like any other mildly amusing holodeck episode, instead of just in this case, it was a hologram episode. It was not on the holodeck. Lisa says D. Too funny. Voyager got mugged. Where is the security on that dinghy?
Jeez. Tuvok is
Teaching
so bad.
and close friends with Hollow Da Vinci. Nah. Flying an updated design. Nah. 7 working around Harry with a final foo look was great. Let's see here. Hang on. Simply Steve says F rating for forgettable, but JRD was great as Da Vinci, the only saving grace, but not enough to elevate to a D minus. Missing the CPU, yet ship functions normally, huh?
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Simply Steve. And the CPU is just the beginning, because
We get
remember
it.
there were a whole bunch of other vital components that belong to the computer that were taken. But I just focus on the CPU part because it's like, oh, they took the main computer. Oh, okay. So and how's the warp core working? Huh? And what?
I don't know. Maybe they had a backup. Value of nothing. The C minus. John Rice Davies is awesome, but no way Kate Mulgrew wants to hang around with Da Vinci. Everything looked ridiculous, like a bad Indiana Jones movie. There's only, well, I don't know.
love
It didn't, other than him being in it, didn't remind me of an Indiana Jones movie per se. But I hear you. Thank you. Eric K says C minus. Da Vinci all of a sudden goes back to medieval tech. When did he have time to make all that? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was like, it didn't seem like any time. Anyway, how the heck did they steal all that? What the heck? Janeway let all the Fed tech go. They
Right.
should they should have blown up the whole place. These are pirates. Chipotle does not even fire back at them.
No.
The transporters have a very limited range now. At least beam everything out.
That's another thing that I don't like. I didn't put it in my notes, but I was thinking the same thing, Eric. I did not like the fact that they were very comfortable just leaving Fed Tech there and just getting quote unquote the main computer back. What? What? And here, with the Kmart Klingons, look at what happened there when they got even a touch of the replicator technology. So it's just, she's not supposed to be sharing tech with anyone, and you think that she would be savage in trying to get it back. It's just dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb.
Bumba Doom 1, thank you, buddy. He says, been for 12 months. He says, Tuvix would not have let them swipe the computer. Are you obsessed with Tuvix or something?
I hate Tuvix.
Michael
Sick.
Bingham says C minus. Nice. I always enjoy John Rice Davies, but this, I never thought Janeway would love Leonardo. Yeah, well, that's her. They'll have to have somebody to hang out with in holodeck art. Professor Archer says a harmless and silly episode. JDR is always fun to watch. C minus. Got you covered. Shooter says D. A hollow episode, but at least we get John Rice Davies. Still, why did Leonardo get transferred into the mobile emitter? I don't know. I suppose Curiosity of the Thief would be enough, I guess.
Yeah, but how would he know about the technology?
I don't know, or how would he know about Leonardo for that matter? The theft, that's a good point on both. How would he know about the emitter? How would he know about Leonardo da Vinci? The theft idea works well in the Voyager context, but again, the focus on Leonardo distracts. Given this is Federation tech, shouldn't Voyager be on the offensive to get it back?
Yeah, like Eric and I do.
Take it back.
Yeah.
But go in there. Letting Federation tech go was was a big no-no with the case on, but here the crew don't seem to care about the minor stuff. In same ways, desire to play with Leo shows her incompetence again.
Yeah.
The final review of this tonight, this episode, B from the Great Mark D with a C. Gimli is always fantastic. Yeah, ridiculous episode that was fun because of Davies. Yeah, he was great. The struts made with modern materials look ridiculous, but the A-Team made a glider out of duct tape. So who am I to complain?
Oh.
Need to call it a night, a long day. Next episode is a F, since 7 saves Neelix, who turned out to be mostly dead instead. But that was a spoiler. You there, Mark?
Good night, Mark. I just want to get to a couple of comments here that aren't about the ratings, but they make great points. Princess Fiona says, I thought Amelia Earhart was Janeway's hero. Yeah, and it also makes no sense that Da Vinci is her hero, because we have been told that Amelia Earhart was her hero, but it's also the fact that Fee, aren't we told at the beginning when a close talking Kathy has her Balana love, they have their little love fest over quantum physics or quantum theory, and Janeway basically says that she did her thesis or her dissertation, I think it's her thesis, on quantum mechanics or quantum theory, quantum something. So I'm just wondering why all of a sudden, her heroes are people who are, definitely not forward thinking, more like just basics of getting off the ground. It doesn't make any sense. And then Wes Kegel says, without the CPU, the computer would no longer be able to keep the containment around the matter antimatter pods intact. And we know what happens when matter and antimatter meet. Wes Kegel, that's just it. Like that whole ship needs that main computer, and that main computer is the brain. It's telling all of those components what to do, and yeah, so it's just ridiculous to me. I hate it.
What is brain?
I didn't do that. Mark did. Mark, you had to run. Did you have to run? I wanted to give you a chance to say something before we moved on. You show that you're here. Are you here? You're muted.
He is.
Oh, I'm muted. I'm boomering. I was just saying, yeah, I'm really tired. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. Had a long day. My daughter's having her appendix out and got bumped to tomorrow. So nothing serious, but was at the hospital in New York City and then got to head back tomorrow. So I better get.
No geekery tomorrow night or what?
I think there will be, but if there's not, I'll try to let her know. But I think we should be back. Should be back by then. But
can you let her know that everyone here is sending her our very best, and those who pray will send a little prayer for her, and those who just want to send some good vibrations and hugs and warm thoughts and love, they're going to do that too.
Thank you very much. Yep, thanks, Eric. Right, yep, I am a boomer, and yeah, I know it's late, so I'm going to get out of here. But there's a clip on the bottom for you from Raquel's favorite movie that I added when that is apropos in the next episode. So
okay, all right, dude. Well, thanks for all the help,
everyone.
Good night, Mark.
Yeah, all right, buddy.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks.
Take care. Catch you tomorrow. Yep.
Best
later, Gators. I'll steal your line.
All right,
thank you very much. Yep. Take care.
Man.
Thank you.
All right. So let's get this other one knocked out, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
Mortal Coil.
While you're doing that, you'll be in earshot, but I've got to go get some water. I'm dying and take a pill thingy.
Yes, please take your pill.
Oh.
Grab some water. Don't worry, I have everyone here is protecting me. We'll be okay. They're watching the chat. Let's go.
Right back.
Mortal Coil is season 4, episode 12. This is production code 180. And this first aired on December 17th, 1997. I'm going to be reading the plot as it appears on wikipedia.org. It's going to get ugly. I mean, it's obvious, but whatever. Let's just do this. Neelix is killed, yay! While participating in a survey mission of a proto-matter nebula using a technique devised by 7 of 9. However, the doctor is able to revive Neelix, boo, after being dead for nearly 19 hours. Yay! Distressed that he had not perceived the afterlife while he was dead, Neelix begins to question his religious beliefs. With the aid of Chakotay, Neelix embarks on a spiritual vision quest, during which he confronts his dead sister, Alexia. What a terrible name. You know, she licks ya, Alexia, who mocks him and then dies in a crumble into dust. He then finds himself on a slab, surrounded by visions of his shipmates, who tell him that life is irrelevant and that he knows what he has to do. Convinced that his existence is meaningless and that his life has no purpose, come on, Neelix decides to self-delete by transporting himself into the nebula. Despite the attempts of his shipmates, Neelix prepares to beam off until Ensign Samantha Wildman arrives to ask Neelix if he could console Naomi, or Naomi, however you want to say it. I know this is an international show, who believes she saw a monster in the replicator and who will only allow Neelix to tuck her in. Realizing that he does indeed have a purpose in life, Neelix relents and heads for Wildman's quarters. Once there, Naomi, who had heard that Neelix was sick, wonders if a monster had got him. Yes, Neelix replies, but I chased him away. And that's all Wikipedia has to say about Mortal Coil, the self-deletion episodes. The self-deletion episode, not a huge fan, but I'm going to wait for the boss to get back so that we can hash out why I think that this is a gigantic, fetid, poopy diaper with maggots in it. Right? Right.
Oh boy. Let me tell you what makes me very angry. First of all,
draw that man in a chicken suit. It's the Chicken Man!
You tell me that I have to, if I'm watching the show, I have to live with the Chicken Man. And you have the nerve to try to give me false hope. Let's say I'm watching it for the first time, right? Because, and I'm naive enough to think that he's dead. And I'm ready to take for the ticker tape parade. I'm ready for the ding dong, the bitch is dead. The bitch is... But he's not. You mean you're kidding? He's alive and stuff, and he wants to self-delete. He's not gonna be good at that either.
And he's writing everyone his self-delete notes.
This
Not very nice.
I'll just be serious because I'm not going to make fun of him die. So we all know that, I mean, they do kill characters in some shows, but we had to know that it wasn't going to happen. So this episode is boring and stupid. It's stupid because we have to, I get it. We want to make an episode questioning, is there an afterlife? Is there not one or whatever? Because he has this conception of what the afterlife was and life was, and because he didn't experience in the however long it was he was not with us, 19 hours, what was it?
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. I guess I'm just too upset that that he wasn't really offed. To be honest. So, did I forget the picture? Did you realize I forgot the picture?
Yeah.
Did I forget the picture? Oh yeah,
You did, but you switched
off.
off.
Put it back up there. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I'm sorry. I got nothing. I got nothing for this stupid. Go ahead and give us notes because this episode is such a piece. Good.
Okay, so I should say right now that I am an agnostic, so I have no dog in this fight. And
Right.
I should clarify for those who are unfamiliar, I am not an atheist. I am an agnostic. So with that out of the way, you should also know that I am a huge Gene Roddenberry fan. And Gene Roddenberry got into quite a few arguments about this idea, or shouting matches, as he said in his Humanist magazine interview a few days before he died, or a short while before he died. that he did not want to disparage religious belief, and that he didn't want that to become a device of the show, like mocking religious people. So on two fronts, I think that Brian Fuller has gone overboard here. First of all, I don't believe that no heaven equates no purpose to or for living. Only a nincompoop would say that. It's actually the opposite, right? When you look at people like Carl Sagan, one of the things he thought, as I believe Carl Sagan was an atheist. He may have been an agnostic, but I think he was an atheist. Pretty sure.
I think he was an atheist. Yeah.
But one of the things he said is that, knowing that there is no afterlife means that he is fully invested in the here and now. And he wants to live as rich and a full life as possible, and to be as kind and loving as he could possibly be with everyone in his family, and treasure things like his relationship with his wife. He really loved his wife. And so not having a heaven doesn't mean that life isn't worthwhile here. And it's a very dangerous idea to think that this life, and there are people out there who believe this, that this life holds no meaning and everything that they do is just to get to the other side. And I think that's very dangerous. That's a very dangerous way of living, because it means that you put no value on life. And I think that's wrong. And so it's patently false to say that those who don't believe in an afterlife, that their lives are meaningless. They need Neelix's help with proto matter. And I believe it's Chakotay who comes and says this. This is ridiculous. There are 149 scientists on board, specialists in this area who have master's degrees and doctorates in this area. And Chakotay basically walks in and tells Neelix that only Neelix understands this proto matter. And I understand what Brian Fuller's trying to do. He's trying to make the audience see the value in Neelix, because Neelix has this valuable life. But it's incredulous. It's absolutely preposterous that on a ship of 149 trained astronauts and scientists with advanced degrees in these things, that they need Neelix's help, and that he goes and gets the little shite container that he was holding the fake warp core juice in, or dust, or whatever you want to call it, in that episode. So it's just stupid writing. It's bad writing. So once again, Brian Fuller, I think he's taken a step too far here. The preamble is that Neelix is vital to everything. And everyone on the ship. And he's not. Chicken Man is an absolutely useless character. Heaven, Talaxian heaven. Okay, so we bring this up. But what we're doing is we're actually showing that belief in the great perhaps is worthless. And we can see that that's the message here. And once again, I think that this is a dangerous and stupid thing to say, because I'm a student of Socrates. I cannot profess to know that which is unknowable. So I can be neither an atheist nor a believer. And it's okay to live for now. And it is not useless or worthless to believe in the great perhaps. Please go ahead and keep on believing in the great perhaps. The Kmart Klingon Kazon rejected by the Borg for a simulation. This is a hysterical, stifled snort moment when you realize that the Borg found the Kmart Klingons unsuitable for a simulation. Neelix is killed. Again, he has died so many times in this show. Remember when his lungs were beamed out of his chest, and yet he could breathe for a full 45 minutes until they rescued him, which I, absolutely hated that. And I also hate this. It's sort of borrowed from Pet Cemetery, but this is Brian Fuller's Pet Cemetery. And the doctor says that Neelix's, Pet Cemetery moment is a world record. I always find this very troublesome wording, because why would the doctor say that when the Federation is made up of hundreds of worlds? So which world record? And certainly 19 hours would definitely be in excess of the 45 minutes he stayed in a cave without lungs, but apparently was alive. This is a weird and cringy conversation in the hallway betwixt Janeway and the Chicken Man. Once again, close talking Kathy gives me the super cringe. Just want to grab her by her forehead and push her an arm's length away. Neelix calls the baby girl, the Naomi little girl, he calls her Sweeting in this episode, which I think is super creepy, because that's what he used to call Kess. Kess, the toddler who he used to be with in a romantic way. And so I wrote in yelling all caps in my notes, gross, 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 and underlined it. This is a weird and creepy look into Neelix's mind. We see quite a bit of borrowing from the prophets. If this is a Seven's technology, and we can do this with these nanoprobes, from here on out, no one need fear dying, because certainly everyone is Lazarus. And of course, 7 of 9 and her nanoprobes are Jesus. Brian Fuller has gone too far here. He is insulting religion. I don't appreciate it. He also insults agnostics and atheists. He just basically insults everyone by telling people that not only is it completely useless not to believe in heaven, or great perhaps, as I like to call it, because no one religion, I believe, is above another, but then he also says that having no belief means that a person has no purpose. I also think that the fact that Neelix is writing a self-deletion note to each and every crew member that he hangs around with is disgusting. It's low down and gross. So I think that this is basically a shite episode written by a complete nincompoop who should be ashamed of himself for just some all-around shit smearing on everything that is good and wonderful about people. And he can take a big flying leap. And yeah. F.
Love it. Oh, a classic. I too give it an F. It's just garbage throughout. It's boring, drivel, and you nailed it. Don't even have to go into it. So anyone who has any review or words or ratings of the lovely Mortal Coil, please come forward with them now. And a number 1 will star those. I had Mark starred. It got unstarred. Oh. Anyway, while I bring us some Max Redstone entertainment, are we ready? Let's see. All right, there we go. Hang on a second. Okay. Mortal Coil by the great Max Redstone, folks. Here we go. Neelix, they say he's come far. But Neelix, they say he's come far. Unusual cuisine, of which he is the czar. His thoughts become rife towards the meaning of life after he dies from holding a sample jar. Oh, but he's got a part 2. This is a 2-parter here for Mortal Coil. And here it goes. Protomatter 1 cannot imitate, but an energy beam does differentiate. The chef who claims to be skilled would be suddenly killed, but he forgot to sign an order to not resuscitate. Whoa, nice ones. Great stuff, Maxie. A 2-parter. I love it. You put far more thought into your lyrics than the idiots do in their episodes, in their scripts. For dang sure. All right, let's see what number 1 has for us so far. I don't see it up there, but I had it up there earlier. I think the chief engineer, Mark, who had to go, gave it an F, if I remember right.
He did. He
Okay.
gave it an F.
Okay.
And that is why
Good.
you didn't unstar it. And I went and unstarred it.
But I started back. I started back somewhat because I wanted to remind myself.
That's why you were keeping it, is because of his review. But yes, indeed, it was an F.
Okay. Gwag says, let's see, grade F because this is a Neelix episode. That's fair enough. The K-Lock Klingons being unworthy of assimilation almost made me give this episode a higher grade. But Neelix is a horrible character, so I didn't.
Bar rodent
indeed. Love it. Gwag also says, finally something Neelix is good at, checking for imaginary monsters in the replicator. Yep, true. Finally they found something. How about that? Shooter says, D. What has Voyager been missing that TNG and DS9 had? A kid character. Now that we get the return of Naomi Wildman, at least she's a cute kid. Not even the Borg want the case on. That's pretty. Yeah, that was funny. An A+ episode for killing Neelix, but it loses all the points for bringing him back.
Shoot!
Exactly. It is an interesting episode, and Neelix isn't even that bad in it. To be fair, no, he's just playing the part fine, but I mean, it's just, I can't stand him. So you're right. I know what you mean. You're being fair. You're being more fair than I plan to be. I'll ever be to him. Funny how the Doctor says Neelix broke a world record. That term should have been replaced by the current star date, a galactic record, maybe. Yeah, true. On the whole, better than you would expect for a Neelix episode, but that's not saying much. Spoilers, but it's funny. Spoilers, but it's funny how the resurrection tech isn't used again. Yeah, well,
yes. And boss, I just wanted you to know that Aaron Baker walked into the chat and just said Happy New Year. And Aaron Baker is joining us from X. So thank you so much for popping in, Aaron Baker. I hope you're having a great time tonight. And I just want you to know, on behalf of everyone here, Happy New Year to you as well.
Aaron, thank you so much. And Happy New Year to you too. Thank you. It's great to have you here. Welcome to Clobberin Times. And I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Where were I? Princess Fiona. Let's see. Fiona says Neelix's life is without purpose and his existence is meaningless. But if he came back, he didn't really die. If your God is omnipotent, omniscient. Sorry, omnipotent. I'm just bad with those words. I'm terrible. They would know. They would know. So this is no proof whatsoever. Thank you. He jumps to a stupid conclusion because he's a stupid face. That just because he didn't end up in heaven, I don't know. It was dumb. Janeway's tendency to pick the least qualified person for any particular jobs really explain the entire series. It's also why she is a terrible Captain Tuvok, being is in chief of security. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It drives Eric and I up the wall. Oh, DJ Play Nice is here.
DJ Play Nice. Hey.
I didn't notice DJ Play Nice earlier, but he just came in and said, gotta roll out. Clobby, thanks for hosting. DJ Play Nice.
Oh, DJ Play Nice. Thank you for being here. I didn't know you were here, but it's great to have you here. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful time. Thank you. Fiona continues. Also makes sense. Neelix, like Jimmy. Wow, that's a name. We're not going to say this whole name, but it's there. Should not be allowed near children ever. But since they have the worst head of security ever, there's something I keep meaning to mention. Let's see. What? In 7 years, we never see Voyager's ablative. Did I say it right that time? Ablative armor.
Ablative.
I keep saying ablative armor. Okay. Actually, people like to use words. They probably heard me say them bad, so they go back to them. I'm just kidding, Fiona. I guess they replace it like shuttlecraft. It is abundant, like Neelix's child victims. Whoa.
Yeah. And
Brutal.
don't worry about your reading, boss. You know, I've done a whole bunch of reading in my life, but reading something out loud is way different than reading it in your head. And you might even know exactly how to pronounce the word while you're reading it, but when you're on a podcast and you're just trying to get through everything,
Oh,
and there are all these different voices and all these different, authorial voices and tone and different forms of diction, and yeah, it's something. I don't think that
yeah, but
people
let's face it.
understand it.
Let's face it. That's true. It is absolutely true. Let's face it, though. Except for tonight, how many times do you see the word ablative? I mean,
Well,
almost never.
that's what they call that
So,
that weird
I
armor.
didn't say,
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, but I wouldn't say this. Didn't say it's not a word, but I've never seen it on this show, for example, ever until tonight twice. Oh,
Yeah. I think it's because everybody
how-
is like, well, Borg tech. Well, if we put a blade of armor on Voyager and that's
Right.
Borg tech, how are they able to just beam everything out and off
Right.
of the ship?
I'm just saying.
I
I'm
know.
just saying that I'm a moron. I'm gonna tell you.
You're not a moron.
I am. I have
Look,
proof.
do you want me to rover you? I will rover you.
I have proof on file. How dare they tease me with a Neelix death twice? A whole episode of Neelix. F minus a D, Fiona. Right there with you. Enigmatic drop bear, says D. At the 6-minute mark, I was hoping the episode would finish. Neelix knocks over a few jobs and gets knocked off and leaves the show. Perfect. Yeah, perfectunum. Instead, it turned into an odd exploration of entities' preconceived notion of afterlife, their faith in it, and of their morality, and allegorically a subversion of Christmas themes. True enough. What are the ramifications societally and individually of tech that can resurrect the dead? From the storytelling perspective, what about when a recipient is a maligned and unworthy character?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Neelix and I don't like voodoo and science fiction, but those final scenes got to me. Perhaps it was due to my recent near miss,
Yeah.
or maybe it's the hope that children bring us.
Oh, I'm sending you a huge hug and a smooch for your cheek. I know what you mean, enigmatic drop bear, and we all love you so much. And of course
Yeah,
that
buddy.
would be touching for you after all that you've been through. I just love you so much, and so does Clobby. Everyone loves you here,
Yes,
and
sir.
we're all sending you a big hug, and I'm sending you a little smooch for your cheek.
Indeed, buddy. Thank you
There
so
are
much.
people talking in the chat about how on Enterprise they have a blade of armor on the NX-01. What is a blade of armor? I thought that was Borg technology.
It's just armor. I mean, it's like a cool. I mean, they have armor plating.
Yeah.
They polarize the hull.
Yeah, they polarize the hull in Enterprise. I know that, but
I don't know.
I have no idea what a blade of. And I thought that a blade of the blade of armor. I thought that was like Borg tech, but I don't know. You guys know I'm not an engineer. That's not my area of study. And I know a lot of people like to go on Google and pretend that they know everything about everything when they're on the internet, but I don't Google and I also don't pretend to know everything about everything. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I know absolutely nothing about, which is why we rely on the engineers when they show up.
Michael Beacom says F. Started on the wrong foot with focus on Neelix and went straight to hell. Okay, Brian Fuller, you don't believe in religion. Some think differently. You're the kind of jerk who loves telling kids there is no Santa Claus either. As a paranormal investigator, I use tools of science to explore reports of things beyond. However, it is good for my children that we did not get into it when they were Naomi's age. Tell us if there is a monster under your bed now, and we'd ask you to draw it. And if it said anything, right? Don't tease me with killing Neelix unless you really mean it. Thank you, Michael Beacom. I'm right there with you.
Hmm. Oh, look at this. Fee's saying that armor should slowing disintegrate, absorbing the energy, directing away from the ship. Okay, so it absorbs and then repels the energy. And Fiona's saying, and it's important to note that Fiona is a physicist with a master's degree in physics, I believe. She says that it's like the crumple zone in a car. Oh, okay. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So that's why that's why Archer has it in the NX-01 as well. So it isn't Borg. Okay.
Our wonderful friend Jill, communications officer Jill, says D. Ethan Phillips finally manages to display some decent acting in his struggle to deal with his faith after death. As such, it's unfortunate all this is undermined by an unignorable and absurdly overpowered resurrection technique.
Yeah.
Let's see. Had they been able to keep his vitals going, I would buy the nanoprobe method, but without that, Neelix would be completely brain dead within the hour.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Since my memory of Voyager isn't perfect, I don't remember whether this method is ever used again, which is the problem with providing such easy ways out of death. Someone said earlier that it wasn't. Also, why do they want proto matter so badly? Isn't it supposed to be devastatingly unstable? Yeah, think of Genesis. I guess it's not anymore. Yeah, every other scientist has outlawed it as every ethical science in the galaxy, as Savick said, has denounced as dangerously unstable. But hey, what the hell in Delta Quadrant?
Professor R2 says that they have a blade of armor on tanks and other military hardware today. That is really cool, and I want to thank Fiona, and I want to thank Professor R2. And Fiona, please don't ever apologize for the typos here. I'm somebody who I never think anything about the typos that I see in chats, because not only am I horrible at live chatting in these little tiny dialogue boxes, but I also find that when you're under the pressure of 3 levels through the platforms of autocomplete and autocorrect, I'm amazed you guys can get anything done at all. And I really mean it. Like, imagine how long it takes just to get its out, because most autocomplete and autocorrect make it its. It is. So when you're trying to use possessive, yeah, it's just a nightmare. So I don't ever judge anyone when they're in the digital verse and they're trying to type things out, because I find it to be a bloody nightmare, especially when the autocomplete and the autocorrect are not helping. They're they're wrong. They're not correcting anything. So I love you all so much, and thank you for teaching me about ablative technology. It's very cool. And Fee was saying that it wears out. So that's a cool thing.
Max Redstone says F spam 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 baked beans spam 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 baked beans liver spam and spam spam and spam and spam 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 wonderful spam spam spam. Oh, I thought he was doing a Monty Python thing. Sorry, that's a Monty Python classic. Spam spam. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Value of nothing. Says Neelix thinks he died, but he did not. Therefore, Neelix's religious beliefs are not a challenge. The whole episode is just nonsense. Agreed. The good thing about this episode is that Neelix learns to appreciate life through his relationship with Naomi Wilden. D. I hear you. That's a good point. The great Derek K says, D. I will not give this the A that Clobby and Raquel give it.
Shin kicks.
Neelix is creepy with the lizard child.
Yep.
I was hoping to see those lizard teeth they talked about. Other than that nice to see Neelix dead.
Well, it's the third time we've seen Neelix dead, right? So we have Tuvok fantasizing about choking him to death, which is a thrilling and wonderful way for Bar Rodent to, expire. Then we have that time when he goes wandering off when he's told not to. He goes wandering off and he has his lungs beamed out. And you remember J.T. Kirk, who works somehow in the medical field, had said that I was correct. It's not just about the fact that the organ would be removed. It's not like a kidney or something. The lungs, he would bleed out instantly. And now we've had him killed this way through the proto matter. So it's the third time. I mean, maybe they know. I mean, I don't know. Like, look at DC Fontana. I love that she went to conventions and called it the Wesley problem. So maybe this is the Wesley problem, and they know it. So they're giving us catharsis by murdering him over and over and over again.
I hope. Ray Lacard says Neelix gone for 19 hours, no organ damage, organic matter breaks down, maybe after 7 hours. There you go. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Simply Steve says just plain F for Mortal Kombat. Oops, foil. Nope. Oil, boil, chicken man, coil, chicken man fun to be had. All of the Twitch was dead for a time. Then why are we revive him? Yeah, because he sucks. Thank you. Bubba Doom says F minus, I guess. I'm tired of the California philosophy and theology from the writing room. Ironically, I'd love to see the writers sit and have a discussion with Dr. John MacArthur. All seriousness aside, I cleaned my garage today. I found an old axe handle. It's hickory. Me, Neelix, and that axe handle on a dark alley. Good times. Yes.
Oh, God, Bubba.
Lisa says D. Borg Nano to reanimate is cool. 7 never losing focus during freakout was perfect. After life dilemma not solved here, but relegated to dreams. Irreplaceable Neelix. Too bad has penchant for the young.
Yeah, very weird. Hey, when he calls that little wee one sweeting after this last episode again with a very young girl, and he is expressing sexual fantasies, and then him being with Kes, and Kes was one.
Ray Lucard, maybe God saw Neelix and went you.
Yeah.
Are we done with this?
We are. And yes, DC is one of my heroes, Fee. I just absolutely love her because she writes science fiction not for women where she's constantly trying to make it into romance. She just likes writing science fiction. I love science fiction. I love communication historiography. I love anthropology. I love psychology. I love technology. I like the impact of technology on humanity. I like talking about it. So yeah, those are the things I like to discuss. And I don't really care, if people feel tingly in their naughty bits when they're watching science fiction. That's not what it's for. So I love that that DC liked to write just straight science fiction and hard science fiction too. So I love her. And Gene Roddenberry did too. Many of the letters that we see that were forwarded, that were CC'd, were co-signed. And Dorothy wrote them and expressed Gene's feelings so well, so purely and correctly that he would co-sign that letter, like, oh yeah, this. Yeah. So he was obviously very close with her. That's why I call them the Holy Trinity. It's almost like they're Spock, Kirk, and McCoy. Gene L. Kuhn, Gene Roddenberry, and DC Fontana. They're just beautiful people writing amazing short stories and turning them into teleplays. Just preternaturally gifted human beings. I love them very much.
All right, everybody. We're going to start making our way out of here because it's very late. and I made us later tonight than I should have. And then for some reason, we ended up in hell for 5 hours talking about the year of hell.
Well, not quite, boss. We've only been here for 3 hours and 23
I'm pretty
minutes.
sure that was
but
15 hours.
you have to scoot. I know you've been at a con all day, so let's get through this quickly.
I'm just saying I'm just saying we were here for like, I'm sure we were here for 15 hours during that episode when we were reviewing that one, Year of Hell. What were you, 15 hours? You sure?
I love you, honey.
I think I'm pretty much. Look, see? Mm-hmm.
I love it when you do the like the genius from TNG.
There you go. See, 15 hours subjective time, yes. And of course maybe we were no hours. Maybe it was none of it existed. You realize maybe this episode doesn't exist, or our review of that episode doesn't exist.
Lisa says, save Globby.
Yeah,
He's in temporal hell.
I'm just saying, look, that episode doesn't exist. See? It's there. It's gone. It's there. It's gone.
No,
it's there.
Now
and then
don't.
It's there, but then all of a sudden, what happens? Out of nowhere, it's there, and then this happens.
It seems your Imperium never existed. Perhaps you could shed some light on this.
Is because you're a dumbass.
State your identity.
I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation Starship Voyager. Who are you and where are my men?
You're a dumbass.
This is one year I'd like to forget.
Is because you're a dumbass.
Time's up.
Is because you're a dumbass. Is because you're a dumbass.
But my question is, was Dean Neelix dead, or
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead. There's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead.
Okay, questions that we were asking tonight. Yeah. Hey,
You
Bubba
have
Doom.
received a gift from the great Bubba Doom.
Thank you, Bubba Doom. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, my friend. You were too kind. He says, Clobby, I love you. Oh, I love you too, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, we love you too, hon.
Briggs, you're awesome.
So are you, baby.
You beautiful nerds. Thank you for sharing Alamo Rain. Well, I guess we owe you an Alamo Rain, don't we?
He does. He needs it.
I gotta go there. We go.
Crazy. Cass, Super Cass.
There you go. But the most important thing about that episode, though, was
everything that guy just says bullshit. Thank you.
Thank you, West Cagle.
West.
Appreciate it for the super sticker, my friend. Thank you. You are too kind. Let's see. All right. I forgot where I were.
We're winding down.
Where was I? Okay.
We're winding down.
Oh, wait a minute. How's this still up there? You know why this is still up there? Because I forgot to consult the real captain.
There's only one thing I want to say to you.
You're a dumbass.
Captain, I see no reason to stand here and be insulted.
So that explains it. All right, everybody. So let's see. Next week, 4 more thrilling episodes of the Rock waking moments. Massage in a bottle. Woo! Pray that you don't have to watch this episode. And Hunter.
Dun, 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 dun.
It looks like the same damn episode. All right, everybody. Well, what do you know about that? We got through another one. Did this stream really exist? No, sir. I would have to say there was no stream at all.
Well, we existed, but then we didn't exist.
What she just said doesn't even exist. So there.
That's right. because I never existed.
Raquel, I wish Raquel had existed. I can't tell you how many times when I go, you know what? I miss Raquel. Then I say, but I can't because she didn't exist. And yet she did exist. How much fun will we have? We should do a show together. So remind me if Raquel ever exists, we should do a show together. I don't know. It would be so much fun. If fun exists.
Oh, you're very welcome, Lisa. We love you so much, Lisa. Thank you.
Love you, Lisa. Thank you. Oh, I have to be careful with my knee brace. If I wrench it and start screaming, Cassandra will think I'm rewatching Neelix again. Better watch that.
Don't scare her. Probably just getting comfortable and probably just falling asleep now.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, final words, number one.
Well, thank you so much, Captain. Okay, so final words. Well, here's a couple of things that you should know before you go. So please don't scoot out the door. Nichelle Nichols, her ashes are going into space with Celestis 20. They're going up on the Real Enterprise. And that will be happening in the next 24 hours. If you would like to send, best wishes to Nichelle's team, you can find them on Instagram. And those are the good folks, not the folks where there were some allegations, but the good folks. They're on Instagram. So and I believe they will be broadcasting. There will be a full show on this, so they're going to be broadcasting it live, and there's going to be a little party, a little pre-party and a little post-party. So if you would like to see Nichelle Nichols go into space, please be a part of that. I love her. She's one of the reasons why I became a communications and technology scholar. I love her very much. So you can send your best, and don't forget to do that. I also want to say happy little Christmas or Merry Ladies a Christmas to everyone in Ireland. Today was the day where the men took over and took care of the kids and did the cooking and the cleaning, while the ladies got to go and just spend some time together and have little Christmas or ladies Christmas together. So I want to send my love to one and all the women around the world, from all of the women in Ireland, to say thank you for all your hard work during the Christmas weeks. For some of you, that may be even more than a month. So thank you for all of your hard work, all the beautiful meals you cooked, and the houses that you cleaned, and the love that you sent, and the gifts that you purchased for everyone. So to all the ladies, I send my love and a very merry ladies Christmas to you. I also want to thank everyone who showed up here tonight. Thank you for all of your marvelous conversations, your beautiful reviews, your company, just the clever things you say, the jokes, the puns, just the friendship and the love and kindness you offer to us. And certainly to one another. This is an incredible community that we've built here. That Clobby, this is the community that Clobby built. And so I just want to thank each and every one of you for the effort you put into creating these marvelous conversations. I'm honored and humbled by this mini Star Trek convention every Saturday night, and it's because of all of you. And I can't thank each and every one of you and tell you how special you are and how wonderful I think you are and how brilliant and cool and funny you are. But I think you know what's in my heart, and I truly feel that for you. I also want to thank everyone who watched us on Twitter, which is now called X. I want to thank all the lurkers. At the end of the week, it's 200 to 300, sometimes more than 300 people watching this show. So I just want to say thank you for that. I also want to thank everyone who sent Clobby a gift. This is a wonderful thing that you can do for Clobby's virtual comic book shop that he has here. You can join and become a member at any time. Thank you for all those memberships purchased by Shooter and purchased by Larry. If you're not ready for membership yet, but you had a great time tonight, don't be afraid to clobber that like button, to hit the subscribe button, and to hit that notification bell. You'll know when Clobby's on. He's a marvelous, erudite, Southern gentleman who has a lot to offer as far as pop culture, and certainly as a former comic book store owner and somebody with extensive knowledge in comic book publishing and characters and everyone who's involved. He's your man. And certainly I think he is just fabulous. So you can have one-on-one with him, or you can just tune in and just hear how fabulous he is. And other than that, I want to thank all the wrenches. I want to thank Mark for all the stuff that he does for us behind the scenes. Do you like science fiction? Do you like classic episodic science fiction? I am a classic episodic science fiction author. However, corporations are not interested in that right now. They want activists and they want activism. If you go to those publishing sites, they're not even accepting submissions unless you are an activist or you are writing about activism. And I don't do that. I'm not giving up on science fiction, and you shouldn't either. You can purchase classic episodic science fiction from me through Amazon. The stories are 99 cents. If you don't like Amazon, that's okay. You can pick up my stories through Barnes & Noble. I have a new book coming out very shortly, within the next couple of months, and I'm going to thank the folks who backed my book and helped me to get over the finish line financially. Larry, I love you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Tony Stark and Penny Lane, full backers of my stories. They've been reading all of the rough drafts. I love you guys. Thank you. I also want to thank Sean Carter, Shooter, Gwagnar, Dave, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric Kane, his trusty dusty dog Kirby, Enigmatic Dropper, Michael and Cassandra Beacom. They rock. Feel better. Mark D with a C. Have a good day tomorrow. We're pulling for your daughter. Anti-derivative Jill, Jilly Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Cook, Dabman and the Dabman Clan, Lord and Lady Thoth, and of course Lance. Chuck some cheese in the chat for both of our dogs, Rob Altus and Tyler, and everyone else who's following me on that Patreon account. I appreciate you more than I could ever express with words. Thank you so much for your love, support, and participation this evening. Certainly, last but not least, I want to thank one of the best friends I've ever had in my entire life. In person or online, it doesn't matter. This person is in my heart, and I love him so very much. Captain Clobby, Mike Clobby Alonzo, I love you. Thank you for creating this space for all of us. Thank you for coming up with this 735 Club, and for just being the perfect Southern gentleman. I love you with all my heart. Thank you for everything, sweetheart.
I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. Let's do some let's take care of our show notes and shout outs, shall we? Show notes, not much right now, just tomorrow night as it stands. The great Monica with a C will have the geekery, but if that changes, we'll let you know. We'll keep everyone posted. But so far it looks like that will be the case. And then of course Monday night I'll be on I'll have Earth B. Bob Haney, 6 p.m. Central. I haven't settled any art from it yet. But also then I'll be the usual spread of shows Monday night, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and the clubhouse, all that kind of good stuff. So just join. You know the routines. Let us shout out our wrenches and then our friends in the chat with us. Of course, everyone gets the shout out, whether they're here or not on Saturday. That's the way it works on Saturday nights. The great Eric K, the Bronze Wrencher. The Vindicator Wrencher, the Great White North, Chris Persia. Davon Martin, Wrench of Iron, Lord and Lady Tough Avon lives long, live the Legion, J-Man, Partner Crime on Earth, B, Maddie's Daddy, Thorin Vegas, Kal-El, Super Wrench, Fanty, Outsidery, the Rascally Wrench, Hound Great Boy, Master the Cluboni, and Maximum Redstone. And let me see who is, and before I shout out the rest, thank you all who are lurking, as Raquel had said. We really appreciate you, the lurkers, and don't thank you enough, but I should. So thank you, and anyone watching on a rewatch or a download or whatever, please, accept my thanks. We really appreciate you. All right, let's see here. The great Mark D with a C was here, of course, as was Anti-Derivative Jill, our communications officer, and again the aforementioned Lord Thoth. Let's see. FKH 2005, Dave C. Let's see. Larry. Let's see. Raymond Feliciano. Sandra Feliciano. Keeping off of TV. In color. Scuba Pete. And hello to Leslie. Shooter. Enigmatic Drop Bear. Michael Beacom and Cassandra. I hope you get better, Cassandra. Feel better. Let's see, where are we at? Okay. Penny. RRTNZ. Eli McKinnis. Zathras. Keely Chow. Jamalama. Muhammad said. Anonymous Gamer. Malachi D. Wildman. Baba Doom 1. Captain Infinity and Beyond. Excuse me. Omega Supreme. Son Lee. Professor R2. Rob Altus. Simply Steve. SP4H. The Tetrarch of Apathy. The Wonderful Princess Fiona. Wagner. Lisa. Pop Culture Republic. Ray Lucard. David Roberts. Let's see. Value of Nothing. Brogu from Old Hometown. XLS Studios. Lee Anthony Davis. Terry Rose. Herc 130. Excuse me. Empress NM. Stephen S. Touring Machine. Wes Cagle. Canadian Spidey. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Aaron Baker. Carry my own stupid handwriting. And Jay Nichi Play Nice. Anyone who may have popped in that I missed, I don't think so, but hopefully not. Again, thank you all so much for being here tonight. Please have a wonderful remainder of your weekend and a nice, fantastic, and safe week following that. Good night, everybody. Take care and trek on and clobber on.
There's only one thing I want to say to you.
There's only one thing I want to say to you.
You're a dumbass.
Captain, I see no reason to stand here and be insulted.
I just love clobbering time.